All right. Now we've got some awesome people on the screen with us. You might recognize their faces if you watched last year. So I'm Dan. I'll be DMing this super awesome game. Uh, it's called The Dead Don't Murder in Mossbank. The Dead Don't Die, which is a literal sequel to the one we all played last year. Pretty funny. Probably about a month ago, Jess was saying they were bouncing around the idea of maybe writing a sequel to this, and I responded, "You've got 1 month," and they were like, "Bet," and here we are. We're debuting this. They plan on releasing it at the end of this month on DM's Guild, and they are giving away 2 copies of this and the previous adventure in our raffle. So you donate, get some virtual tickets to the raffle, and you might win this. Um, so let's start with clockwise from the top there. Let's start with Nick. Oops.
On everyone.
There you go. Sorry, I was muted.
Oh, you're all right. So my name is Nick, and use pronouns he, him, and I am going to be playing Colonel Relish tonight. Colonel Relish, also known as the Iron Tusk, due to his steadfast commitment to the law. He is a cleric of the domain of order. And I'm very excited to be playing with everybody tonight. Last year's Meowrathon was my first ever live streamed game of D&D. So it's really cool to have been able to bring the gang back together. So.
All right. Sorry, Cat spilled stuff on my thing, so we're coordinating some technical things. Let's go next with Cheryl.
Hi everyone, my name is Cheryl. My pronouns are she, her, and unlike Nick, I'm playing D&D in the morning. And I'll be playing Althea, an inquisitive rogue who is kind of one of the talkers for the group, I guess. I am also very excited to be back. This was super fun last year, so glad to do it again. And I live stream all the time, but that doesn't mean it's less fun to do it now.
Yeah, you're basically the face. And then Kimberly.
All right. Hi there. My name is Kimberly. Excuse me. I just had breakfast. I'm a little bit phlegmy. She, her. I am playing Corinne Whiteheart. She is a shrill housekeeper who thinks about food more than solving mysteries, but she gets there in the end. I am also part of the OD&D family of podcasts. I play a few characters in a few different thingies, none quite so. I don't know. Esther's kind of fun, but anyway, that's me. And it is crazy early here.
Yes, caffeine's still working on getting into my blood system. So, do you guys remember at all what you did last year?
Yes. I listened to it. I'm good.
So for real quick sum up of last time, you guys were hired by the town of Mossbank to investigate a murder. After many shenanigans, you found out that the person wasn't murdered. It was a person named Sylviel, but that they were a changeling who was trying to get out of a loveless marriage and actually posed as the mayor. And then you killed her.
So in the end, she got murdered anyway.
Yeah, you fixed the glitch.
That she wasn't really murdered.
Yeah, in a way, we did solve the murder mystery because we murdered her.
Yeah, you figured it out. So you guys have been, you guys are part of a group called the Beholders, because nothing escapes your gaze, and you've been traveling the land, you've leveled up a few times, and it's been a year, and you've got another request from Mossbank's mayor to help them solve a mystery.
The real one this time.
This time it's a grave robbery. So we open up on your carriage arriving in Mossbank.
Well, I'm just sitting back on the little bench, and I've got some socks, and I'm darning the socks, but I'm doing it like not just like fixing the holes, but I'm like embroidering like little flowers on the holes. So they got little flowers on them, making them pretty.
Nice.
Are they the Colonel socks?
Well, yeah.
Those are some
Big socks.
Corinne, and when you are finished with the socks, please do make sure you pay most attention to the tusk cozies that I know you have been working on.
Oh yes, they're just nearly finished. I just need to do the cast off bit
Yes,
and then
yes.
sew them up the middle, and then you're all set.
Well, you know all this sleepwalking I've been doing, putting holes in the wall, taking out a butler or two, just trying to, be as safe as I can for the house staff.
Losing Savannah was just the hardest part of last week.
That's terrible.
I had to dust the top of the clock, and that's what I used him for. So I had to get a step stool, and I nearly fell and broke my neck.
Yes, well, that's what we've got the workers' compensation fund for. So she should be back from that raised dead spell in the next 2 weeks, and you won't have to worry about that.
Oh, thank goodness, just so long as they do it right this time. Last time they raised him, he still smelt of the grave for a full fortnight.
Terrible, terrible.
As you guys are chit-chatting, Mayor Amos Dappermont approaches you and says, Welcome! Welcome! It's nice to see you all again.
Greetings. It's a pleasure to see you.
I'm glad to have you here without a murder needing to be investigated. You guys did a great job last year, and I think the town is happy with how that worked out. Why don't you come with me to the office? We'll have a sit down, and I'll explain to you what's going on.
Just a one inquiry for you before we leave.
Absolutely.
I would be remiss if I did not. You do not happen to be a changeling, do you?
Oh no, I'm as real as I can get this year.
I mean, to be fair, changelings are real. I met one, and I could touch it, but
Oh, right, because we killed one last year.
yes, we did.
Well,
I don't
I
know
mean,
that
that it
this
was
is
our dear Sylvial.
polite conversation, friends. Should we just
All
follow
right,
the nice man to his office?
Althea keeps me on my toes.
Very well. Come with me. And so he leads you to the mayor's house, mayor's office, I should say, and you all kind of sit down. And he says that there have been some recent grave robbings. About 3 days ago, the Wethington's Mausoleum, they're one of our more well-off families in town, the door was left open, and Ignacia and her son's Zanwar's crypt tops were pushed off and dropped on the floor, and the bodies were missing. About a fortnight ago, they were both buried with, coins and Ignacia's prize necklace and Zanwar's cherished little teddy bear. This has left poor Esmeralda, the partner and parent to the deceased, alone and devastated. From talking to the town, it seems they're a bit split between thinking it might be Buster and his shady friend Ralph, who are reformed gravediggers. I believe you met them last year. Or the manager of our apothecary, the Abracapothecary, Laszlo. You are welcome to wander around the town. The Battle of the Barbarians is going on at this moment, so some of the shops are locked up, but feel free to speak to anyone, including, Esmeralda or any of the shops that are open. The inn is always available after 2 p.m. That's when they open up. And maybe you can figure out who's been digging up and uncovering our dead.
That's just horrible. Just horrible.
Yeah, the dead should be left to their rest. That is, of course, except unless they are under a strict contractual servant relationship, as Corinne understands. We
Yes,
will.
yes. I
We will.
signed that paper back when I started. I
Well,
understand. I read it fully.
There are lots of terms and conditions, but we will be sure to look into this. And was it Esmeralda you said that we would be most likely to get some information from?
Well, she is the spouse and mother to the missing deceased. She might be able to fill you in on some details. Also, Buster and Ralph live in the attached house of the Memorial Hill where the graveyard is, since they are the town gravediggers now. But Buster says he turned his life around, but I'm not sold.
And
What?
oh, please, Corinne.
I'm so sorry, Colonel. I don't mean to step on your investigation. But why don't you think he was reformed?
Well, I mean, he spent over half a decade being a thug, beating people up for money, and then just out of the blue one day he decided he didn't want to do it anymore and become a rapper instead. So it just doesn't track.
I mean, something awful could have happened. It could change a person.
I mean, the last awful thing that happened after Sylville is a grave robbery, is all I'm saying.
Yes, well, we will do our due diligence, and just to make sure we don't upset anybody, Esmeralda is aware of the investigation.
She is fully aware. In fact, I might recommend visiting the watch captain Thalia at the guard quarters. She's been kind of collecting some of this information, so she may have some evidence that I don't have that might be able to kind of direct you.
It sounds like a good a place to start as any.
I
All
agree.
right. He stands up and puts his hand out, saying, I appreciate you coming out here again and helping me solve a problem. After being locked up in a shed last year, I just, oof.
Well, Althea, the brains of the operation, would you like to lead the way?
Of course. I'm assuming the mayor has directed us towards the guard.
You were there last year. You remember.
Oh,
how
okay.
it is. Also, I forgot to mention at the start, for anyone watching, I do have it noted on the screen, but for $5, for each $5 donation, you can offer a advantage, disadvantage, or reroll to queue up for any of our folks here or me. I'll take advantage. Though more likely, I figure you'll probably give me disadvantages. So have at it. My wife is watching the chat and the donation page, so just in the comments say who you want to give it to. All right, so much like last year, I'll give you a list of the pertinent areas that you can check out. We've got the City Watch Station, Wethington Manor, the Mossbank Memorial Hill, the Apothecary, the good old arena where the Battle of the Barbarians is going on, the Bank Traveler's Coin, the Tavern, the Humbuddy, which opens at 2. It's still a little bit early. We got Louis Vuitton, and the last place I don't get to tell you about yet.
Is that like a wand shop or something?
I guess you'll have to find out.
I hope so.
Or you could ask the mayor, I guess.
Well,
so where we heading?
I see 2 possible courses of action. The first would be to follow the mayor's recommendation and go speak to the captain of the watch. But I wonder if perhaps the more people we talk to, the more our minds might be swayed by others' biases and presumptions. And so the second course of action would be instead to begin at the scene of the disappearances.
I think that's very smart. I think that's a good idea because I was thinking go to the Tower Watch, but I think the scene of the crime is the best place to start.
I think that's a fair assumption.
Alrighty, then I guess we're going to the cemetery, mausoleum, whatever.
All right. So you head on over to the Mossbank Memorial Hill. This it's a relatively small graveyard, but there is a clear distinction between the modest and wealthy grave sites. The northern plots feature mausoleums, grave benches, extravagantly carved tombstones, whereas the southern plots feature more simple headstones. To the northwest, off of the graveyard, there is an Asimar statue holding a staff. And then you also see a small cottage that stands about 20 paces behind the mausoleum. And then you can see the side facing the graveyard is well kept. But when you kind of look at the sides a little bit, or you notice that it's a little bit more in need of repair. Some shingles are missing, some paint is peeling, so they're maintaining the visible side, but it's obvious that that's about all they're maintaining. Some windows are broken and stuff.
So would you like to start with the crypts?
I think that would make the most sense in this situation.
I stick my hands in my pockets so that I don't grab my broom. It's on my back. I have upgraded from a feather duster to a broom, and it's like on my back, and it's my magic staff as well.
So you don't just start cleaning up any evidence.
Because there's just all this stuff on the ground, and I'm just like, hands in my pockets. Yes, I'm going to be good.
All right, so you approach the mausoleum. The door is now closed.
Does it appear to be locked?
I don't know. Do you want to check it?
Yeah, you'll see the colonel put on a white glove. Well, he'll hold his hand out because, of course, Corinne would have these pristine white gloves.
Oh yes,
Right.
I pull them out, and I'm just like, I hand them.
Thank you, Corinne. And he'd put them on so as not to disturb the evidence. And yeah, try to see if he can open the door.
The door opens. You can tell that the inside of this mausoleum is designed for people to come and, pay respects. Right? There's some seating and stuff like that, and you can tell that inside here it does not appear to be quite as they've left the evidence in place for the most part, so you can kind of see that the covers are off and fell to the ground, broken.
Okay. So one thing I should point out that's different about the Colonel from last year, in the adventures that took place in the interim, he managed to get his trunk on a ion stone that hovers around his head. This one is a dusty rose prism. And he's got a considerable head, so it's probably got
wide.
Yeah, and what he will do actually is he'll reach his hand up and tap it as it's coming by the front, and he's going to cast light on it. Ooh. So it's going to create this kind of like continual. I mean, it's slow. It's not like this isn't a rave or anything, but just to like continue to just shed like a light around us.
I love it.
So casts eerie shadows that are in constant motion.
Yes.
You said the lids to the two disturbed crypts are on the ground?
Yep. They fell to the ground, shattered.
Were they like flat tops? Were they sort of the kind that it's got like a, like an angle to it, so you can basically tell the top from the bottom of the lid?
you can tell the top from the bottom. There's actually like, these guys are pretty well off, so you can kind of see there's like some carvings in the top, some decorative work.
Okay. Did they fall on the ground top side down or bottom side down?
They fell. You can kind of tell that they actually kind of landed on their sides, and then some pieces fell that way, and some kind of fell and leaned against the crypt. It's like the coffins themselves.
Can I do a a sniff test. I use my keen smell to see if I smell anything. It could be like a noticeable perfume or something that might just give me any clue. I know it's been a couple days. Or wait, how long ago were the
It
bodies
was
taken?
3 days ago.
Okay. It's just his instinct. He'll just try.
Okay. Let's roll an investigation. Why not?
Yeah, first dice roll.
Investigation, why not?
23.
Dang.
He gets advantage on any rolls involving his keen smell.
Nice. So you definitely, smell, the leftover sense of, beginnings of decomposition. They were in here about 2 weeks before this happened, so kind of at the high part of, I guess, the decomposition part. As well as, you kind of recognize the smell of Ralph and Buster, but they are, the people in charge of the graveyard, so that's not surprising. And you can tell that there were several other people here, not sense that you recognize. But, it's only been a couple weeks. There was a funeral and stuff, so it's been pretty high trafficked. You don't pick anything up that's very explicit, but you definitely can tell that there have been folks here.
Okay, good to know.
I would like to check the broken lids and the insides of the two disturbed crypts. I guess specifically I'm looking for like any marks on the insides of the lids, the outsides of the lids, the insides of the boxes themselves, and any like stuff that may have been left behind, since it was mentioned that they were buried with like coins and jewelry and toys and stuff.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Let's go ahead and have an investigation for that.
Okay. It's a 12.
12. So you can see that that very recently there are scrapes leading from across the mausoleum, the coffins to where the lids have dropped. So they were pushed, seemingly externally, like they weren't flipped up, they were slid, and you can kind of see where maybe bodies might have been dragged across it a little bit, as if they had been removed.
Important question I didn't ask before. Is this the sort of mausoleum where like the crypts or the coffins are sort of like parallel to the wall, and so like one side of them is adjacent to the wall and one side is exposed, or are these more like they're perpendicular to the external walls?
They are kind of freestanding, so you could reach it from either side.
Okay.
There's benches along the wall so people can come and silently, revere those who have passed.
Okay, so how is the like general upkeep of the interior? Is it like, other than the like broken stuff and all that, is there like dust or
it's very well kept. This is a very affluent family in the town, so it gets cleaned and tidied and maintained, and that's why it was such a shock to folks that this happened.
Because I was wondering if there's any way that my housekeeping proficiency or whatever might apply to like dust patterns or something.
I mean, we can try. You can try an investigation. Why not?
Why not? Maybe
not?
I'll spot something that like normally that would be like this, but it's different. Whatever. 9.
Looks good to you.
Yeah.
You're actually
pretty. This is so lovely, though. Look at how well they've dusted the cornices. I don't know what a cornice is. Is that a thing?
It's a thing.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know if it's a thing. It's
I don't remember what it is, but it's a thing, and
yeah.
And it is dusted.
Okay, good. I'm blurry again. Come on. Unblurry me. Oh, whatever. I don't care.
Put your hand up on the camera.
We did that before, and it didn't do it. Whatever. It doesn't matter.
Whatever. Anyway, yep.
All right. Well, so it seems that the tops were taken off. We are not quite sure what tools or devices were used to do so, and we obviously can't ascertain the number of people that were involved. Doesn't seem like there's much else of use to. Oh, Corinne, please.
Well, I don't know. Something about this, because this is like out of character. I have stone cutting. I can make an intelligent history check for the origin of stonework, but I don't think that would apply. Like if I could look at the like stonework and determine how it was broken.
Yeah, because I think what would be helpful is I'm like trying to like talk through this with Corinne and Althea. I think what would be helpful for us to try to figure out, and again, let us know if we're trying to squeeze too much out of this sponge, but if there is either tools that were used or like a really strong person like that alone could have lifted one of these things, or like even if it's like a scrape of a crowbar on the side, I guess like anything like that.
I would say from Althea's role, you can tell that there was probably some sort of tool that was used to help push it a little bit.
Okay. All right.
Along with the scrapes that you saw.
All right. Well, I've made notes here in my my notepad that we can use further on in the investigation, unless there's anything else to be investigated here. Should we make our way to the watch captain, or while we're here, we could go and speak to those two gentlemen, Ralph and Buster, I believe it were.
One moment. I have this creepy ring, and I didn't realize that it would be useful so soon. But I would like to go full forensic entomologist for a moment and use this awesome ring of Roundup that I have. Basically, I am looking for, this is going to sound real gross, a maggot trail to try to determine the direction the bodies might have been taken.
I love it.
If there's like if I stand at the doorway of the mausoleum, is there like a, are there bugs in the grass in a certain direction?
I love it.
So the ring of Roundup attracts you can control one butterfly at a time.
Oh, it's just butterflies?
It explicitly attracts butterflies and allows you to control one tiny insect at a time.
Oh, okay.
So
sorry.
You can attract butterflies to yourself, and you can control one of those at a time.
Okay, I'm sorry. It said one tiny insect, so I thought any bug was fair game.
No, it's fair.
Right.
That's why I was reading it. I'm like, okay, what are the details?
Then never mind.
I just picture you just always have butterflies around you now.
I think that
Full
tracks.
Disney princess.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So should we go and interview the gravediggers or the watch captain?
Well, the gravediggers are just close by. They're just right there.
This is true. Why don't we go and see? It's early, right? You said.
Yeah, I would say
Okay.
probably similar to last time. I think it was 10 a.m. when you guys got
That's
there
not
last
too
time.
bad.
About the same time.
Yeah.
If
Okay.
they're not awake yet, then that's their problem. This is the normal time for people to be up.
That's true. Well, let's go and give them a ring.
DM, can you remind us in what context we spoke with them last time we were here?
I don't remember.
They were a couple thugs that had been hired to. Hold on,
Were they the ones that I spoke to outside the bank?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I remember these guys.
Yeah. They were hired to scare Norman away from the City Watch election.
Yeah, they were saucy. All right, Corinne, lead the way.
Oh, all right. And I go over and I just knock on the door.
There is no answer.
Knock on the door. A little louder.
Still no answer.
Can we peek? Is there a window or anything?
There are several windows. A couple of them busted.
Oh.
On the not quite as maintained sides of the building.
Recently busted.
Take a peek in, see if I see anyone inside.
Yeah, and I have dark vision, so.
Let's see. You do inside. Let me bring up my notes here. Inside the home, it is poorly lit. You can see that it's basically just a single room. There's a small wooden table with a couple chairs. A poorly constructed bunk bed pushed up against the opposite wall.
But no one is inside.
No one's inside.
Can I tell if anyone has been inside recently? Like,
Oh yeah, you can tell that the beds have been used. And,
okay.
and there's some dirty dishes from some sort of breakfast or something.
Not and now they're like recently dirty, maybe still a little bit damp and not
Yeah,
like crusty
exactly.
or moldy, so I can tell using my housekeeping proficiency that I've just invented today
New skill.
to determine that they yes, they were here, but they must have left already. Now where would a gravedigger go if he's not in the graveyard? And I kind of look around and I'm a dwarf, so I like find something to stand on. And I'm like,
Well, Corinne, from what I understand, there are some in some professions that it actually does not consume their entire existence. I know that you cannot imagine what that must be like.
are you talking about hobbies?
Yeah, hobbies, but also just a job that you clock in and clock out of, one would say.
Clock out.
I know it's a strange concept, but we'll talk about it later. That's another mystery for us to solve. These gentlemen may simply be out in the town and engaging in these hobbies, as you would say.
Or perhaps they have a side hustle.
It's true.
A side hustle?
we
Is
are
that
in
like when I bake pies for Mrs. Smithy down the road?
Yes, I think so.
Yes, yeah. We are in a gig economy, as it were.
Remember, kids, don't monetize your hobbies.
Yeah, right. And you'll hate them.
Yeah. Well, all right. So without them being here, I guess maybe we've put off trying to go talk to the watchguard long enough. We've checked out the scene, looked for these folks. Althea, Corinne, would you all be amenable to going and meeting with this Captain Thalia?
Yes, I think so. Now that we have made our own observations, we should be able to keep those in our minds while also speaking to other people.
I agree. And
I think that's a lovely idea. You have so many good ideas.
Althea, perhaps you should lead the discussion with the watch captain. I know that I can be a little bit cantankerous when it comes to these situations.
No, not you, sir.
It's all right. It's all right. I'm aware of my deficiencies and where they are. And that's why I took my proficiency in intimidation and not persuasion.
To put it another way, the skills of we three complement one another.
This is true.
Oh, that's so sweet, Miss Sophia.
It's true.
All right. So you guys are
Yeah, before this gets too mushy, let's go to the watchtower.
all right. So you head on over to the city watch station. And last year, I believe it was Horace who was in charge. But he no longer is after the events of last year. He was the husband of Sylvial.
Mm-hmm.
And now Thalia, who you did speak to last year, as just a watchwoman, is now the head of the watch. And just for those listening, while not everyone, there's quite a variety of characters in this adventure. For the purposes of the Meowrathon, they are all Tabaxi.
Well, greetings, Captain Thalia. Congratulations on your promotion.
Oh, it's nice to see you all again. Welcome.
We're here, I'm sure you're aware, to investigate the grave disturbances.
Yes, I am
This
still.
is a grave tragedy.
It is. They are a prominent feature of our town, and having something like this happen to them is it just if nothing else, it doesn't look good. Bad optics.
Fair enough.
Oh, yes.
We were told that you had been gathering evidence or information concerning this issue.
Yes, I've got some alibis. There are 3 folks people have been pointing fingers at. Laszlo, Buster, and Ralph. So I've been still trying to corroborate all of their alibis.
And what have you found so far as in terms of these alibis and their trustability?
Well, speaking to Buster, he said he was out of town visiting his ill great-grandmother Gertrude, and so he wasn't even here when that happened. Ralph says that while Buster was visiting his great-grandmother, he was busy moving in to assist in the grave maintenance racket, and he was building bunk beds, so the hammering and stuff, maybe he wouldn't have been able to hear the event occur. And Laszlo, who is the head of the Abracapothecary, says that she was out of town as well for her father's funeral.
What's a day?
And then she returned to Mossbank with an inheritance. Oh, that part you weren't supposed to hear, so ignore it. No. But that Laszlo... oh, no, that part she probably would have mentioned to the guard. So she was out of town and had received a bit of an inheritance.
This is Laszlo.
Laszlo.
Okay.
And these, the way you described it, it sounds like you can pinpoint the exact day and or night when the disturbance occurred?
3 nights ago.
Okay.
Sometime in the last 3 days, like 3 days ago. I'm not sure what time of day it happened.
Okay.
And Althea, might I ask, Colonel Relish, as you might remember, did Esmeralda's loved ones, did they have any enemies, anyone who would want to harm their memories?
Well, the reason why people are kind of poking fingers at Laszlo is before Ignacia and Esmeralda got together, she and Laszlo were a thing, and there's been bad blood there for a while. But otherwise, I mean, nothing more than just what a rich family in a town would have.
And one more question about the timeline. How long before they were robbed were these two fine folks buried?
It's been about 14 days.
And I'm curious, is there a known cause of death for the two of them? It seems odd for a mother and child to both die at exactly the same time, yes?
Yes, and I don't remember if that's in here.
Oh wait, sorry. Just this is a clarification for Nick. Was
I thought it
was Esmeralda the one who died, or I thought it was Esmeralda,
No, it's
Esmeralda's spouse?
right. Ignacia
Ignacia.
and
Ignacia, got it.
Okay.
yeah, and the other one. And all the rest.
So when we say that Esmeralda was the mother and wife, it was two different people.
Right. She's the mother to the child that died and wife to the
Right.
other mother that died.
This. There once was a man named Oedipus Rex. You may have heard about his odd complex. There's always time for Tom Lear.
Yes. I'm trying to remember if there was a mention of that. I do know that it was a tragic death.
Ah. That's sort of what I was assuming, considering the
And how
exact
old was
timing.
the
Okay.
kid?
Yeah. Jess in chat said it was a freak accident.
Freak accident. Thank you.
Okay.
This is
Okay.
the
This
benefits
is what's
of
great about having
Yeah,
the
the
author.
author
Oh,
Okay.
freak accident. That's fun.
Thank you, Jess.
And how old was the child?
I would pin it at around probably somewhere between 5 and 7 because I had a teddy bear.
Huh.
Okay.
I had a prized teddy bear, in fact.
And the
Poor
There were no-
Esmeralda losing those people.
terrible. Well, watch, Captain. It sounds like you could use some assistance in perhaps verifying the veracity of these alibis, Buster, Ralph, and Laszlo.
That would be very helpful, because between investigating this and just keeping control of the Battle of the Barbarians, I'm run pretty thin.
One question that I did have, one last question. As I consider myself to be an embodiment of the law, I would not want to violate the laws of this town. If in the course of our investigation we wanted to perhaps say investigate the premises of the grave digger's home or some other place, would we be able to obtain a warrant for your permission to search the premises?
Certainly, as long as you don't cause too much damage doing so.
Oh, don't worry. I'm very good at fixing the things he accidentally breaks.
It's absolutely true. And again, I mean no ill will. I just, in the course of the investigation, I don't want to rough trot upon your authority.
I would say you are hereby deputized for the investigation.
You see his, like, he was already standing really straight, but he somehow stands even straighter and like looks up into the sunbeam coming down from above.
Well, it's nice. Your background, you got a little sunbeam coming
Yep.
down.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's
As to the issue of the alibis, since 2 of the 3 suspects currently under investigation said they were out of town, is there some sort of carriage service or regular route, I suppose, that we could check on to confirm that they had traveled?
We do not have any sort of mass transit of our own, so any transportation they may have taken was either their own or hired outside of the town.
Okay.
Well, that was a good intuition. Perhaps we can. I would be curious to see if they own any horses. These 2 gentlemen, or some other form of travel.
Yeah, you should be able to find Ralph and Buster at the hill. Although a lot of folks have been going to the Battle of the Barbarians, so perhaps they went there. And then Laszlo runs the Apothecary.
Yeah, we did not see them at their residence at the graveyard, so perhaps they're at the Battle of the Barbarians.
Barbarians, yes.
Battle of the Bards sounds like a lot of fun, though.
Yeah,
But I think that's next month
Oh,
in
right.
Salisbury.
I saw some posters.
The Battle of the Bards is actually at 4 p.m.
Oh, okay.
I do know that the game at 4 p.m. involves some sort of band. So
A band of bard barbarians bumping their bongos. Doesn't work.
Don't hurt yourself, Karen.
Well, I would say then perhaps before we go and get involved with any sort of violence at this barbarian bash, we should perhaps visit this Apothecary.
I think so. I need to get some reagents.
that's a good place to find them.
Anything else we should know about this Laszlo person of interest before we go and inquire with her?
She is a little bit controversial in town because she does support some level of family planning, and some of our more conservative folks are not a huge proponent of that, but she's a very a fiery person who stands up for what she believes in, and doesn't really take a lot of guff.
Is she a physician of some sort?
She is an apothecary, yes.
All right. Well, it will be interesting to meet her.
Thank you very much, Watch Captain. I suppose we'll return if we have any further questions.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. And she gets back to some sort of paperwork she was having to fill out.
All right, friends.
All right, off we go.
One odd question. Would you 2 prefer to visit the apothecary and try to talk to Laszlo, or remember we went to the bank last year to sort of investigate funds moving around. If Laszlo did, in fact, return from a family death with some inheritance, perhaps she deposited it in the bank, and we could go and inquire about that before speaking with her.
That's
I
true.
think that's a good idea. Get some background, get some information that we can catch her in a lie if there are any. I'm not assuming, but you never know. There's been a crime.
Exactly.
Would be most amenable to this.
All right. So you're heading over to the Traveler's Coin.
Yeah.
All right. You head on over to the Traveler's Coin. As you recall, it is a small but well-kept and upscale-looking bank that deals in all sorts of investment opportunities, real estate, and personal and business banking, as well as life insurance policies. Behind the counter is Penny, who was the banker that you spoke to last year.
Mm-hmm.
And she looks up. You didn't have too much of an interaction with her, so she's like, "Welcome to the bank. My name's Penny. Can I help you?"
Hello, yes. We were deputized by the watch captain here to
Oh, really?
to investigate
She
a crime
squints at
that
the
occurred.
colonel real quick and goes, "Oh, I remember y'all. You were here last year, right?
Yes.
That's right.
There were
Good
more of y'all,
memory.
though. I'm pretty sure."
Yes. Unfortunately, we had to some prior pressing matters with our other companions, but us three, we have it quite under control.
All right. Well, no
was
murders
rival.
this year, thank goodness. So
Yes, at least in this case, the crime took place after the death rather than before.
fair enough. Yes, I see you. So you're here investigating the grave robbers that happened.
We are. And, my friend Althea here just had a couple of quick questions. We thought you might be
Huh?
able to help us in the course of our investigation.
I'll do what I can.
As the family who was violated in this crime was one of the wealthier in town, I wasn't sure if you were familiar with the belongings that they were interred with. Specifically, I think there was mention of a necklace and some coins.
Maybe so. Yeah, I'm not too familiar with that.
That's all right. The other question was, we've heard that there's quite a bit of gossip in town about some of the people that are suspected of committing this crime. And
Oh, you're here to talk to me about Laszlo? Because
oh,
she did it. I guarantee you, she did.
and why would you think that?
Well, I mean, banker's oath. I can't tell you exactly what their account is, but certain it's pretty close to empty. I don't know how she could afford going shopping at Louis Vuitton and hanging around with Larry Fay with such such light accounts.
But what if she doesn't keep all her money in the bank? I mean, you don't have a monopoly on money.
I don't, but I don't know too many people who would have the amount of money to go, shopping there and hanging around with this gentleman without wanting to keep some of it somewhere more secure than a mattress.
Do you get the?
Why would you keep it in a mattress?
Do you get the sense that obviously you can not only give us so many specifics, but is this a deficiency in her bank accounts ampleness recent development or something that has been ongoing?
I would say she's. It has never really been too significantly large.
I think that does at least, if not confirm, add to some of our concerns, Althea. A lack of funds and a sudden proclivity for high-end shopping does not make much sense. One might say it makes less sense than a dragon in pigtails, as it were.
Just a picture of that confuses me, Colonel.
I suppose the one thing that doesn't seem to track here is that Laszlo is a business owner, correct?
That is correct.
And yet she does have an account here. She
She
doesn't.
does have an account. It has some money in it, but certainly not to the extent that I would expect to see based on some of the habits that we have seen.
Interesting. Friends, any further questions for Penny?
None that I can think of.
I don't think so. It was nice to see you again, Penny. That's a kind of money. How clever. Did you come up with that yourself, or was that?
I just work with copper pieces, silver pieces, and gold pieces, and electrum pieces. I've never heard of a penny. I don't know. That's just my name.
Okay. I'm on to you. That's clever.
Well, Penny, you have been quite helpful to us, and we do appreciate your assistance.
No problem. If you have any other questions, let me know.
One other question while we were here.
Yeah, yes.
Were there any particular large life insurance policies taken out on either Ignatia or their child?
Nothing more than what they've had for basically their entire lives.
Okay.
You know, what you would expect.
All right. Just the standard. That's good to know. Well, that's the only question that I have.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, have a nice day.
You too, Penny.
As we step out into the street, say, that certainly is somewhat concerning, this idea of Laszlo having this amount of money. I say we maybe keep this knowledge to ourselves as we go and investigate. And perhaps if she has some of these high-end fashion items, one of us could just comment on how nice they are and something to just sort of bring up the conversation.
I think that's very smart. It would not do very good to walk in and say, "Where's your money?" She would think we was robbing her.
That would be true. DM.
Yes.
She the name Larry Fay, and I'm sorry, I've been trying to keep notes. Who was Larry Fay?
You don't know.
Oh, okay. All right. I would have written the name down just a little bit, and then maybe I'll follow up with it. Someone else as we're making our way through.
Penny didn't imply that he was some sort of fancy guy, I guess.
Yeah.
About having money to hang around with him. So.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. Good to know. So off to the apothecary then?
Yes, that seems like a good next step. This is all very interesting. This town, the people in it seem to be quite convinced of the whodunit every time something goes wrong here.
Yeah, seems like they read a lot of murder mystery novels.
Something like that.
Got them pulp books they keep in their back pocket.
Yep.
They rebutton their knickerbockers below the knee. All right, so you're heading over to the Apothecary.
Before we get there, I want to lean over and say, Althea, if you wouldn't mind, if you're going to be asking some of the questions, I would be happy to enhance your charismatic abilities. And he'll take, you see his trunk reaches down and he's got like a little component pouch and it pulls out an eagle's feather. And he just like lightly brushes it on Althea, just like right on her forehead, and will cast Eagle's Splendor, giving her advantage on charisma checks for the next hour.
Nice.
Colonel, do you really think I need it? That tickles a little.
Well, no. You're one of the most charismatic folks that I know, but a little bit of extra doesn't hurt.
Does it tickle more or less than the butterflies?
Not sure. Different kinds of textures.
The Colonel's elephant ears definitely like constantly have the butterflies landing on them, and he's doing the flipping of the ears.
Get off me!
Yeah, I just figured this would be useful. So yeah, any charisma based checks,
because that lasts for like an hour.
It's an hour. Yeah.
All right. Sweet. So y'all meander over to the Apothecary. As you enter, your little bell ding-ling-ling, and the smells of citrus pine and is well stocked with potions of various colors and viscosity, and you can see there's a family planning section in see-through locked shelving. Behind the counter, you see Laszlo Laszlo, who is a middle-aged tabaxi with deep brown eyes that she wears glasses that frame her face. She has an infectious smile, and she keeps her mane buzzed and wears many rainbow-colored earrings.
Is that the new Lysol scent? I've been meaning to try it. I go up and I'm like, hello, my name is Corinne and I like your scent. Is that the new Lysol?
Oh, this is my I don't know. I think that's like maybe sort of a New Zealand accent.
I like your accent. I like it.
That's my incense that I have.
Oh.
It's all over the place. I'm sorry, guys.
It's fine. It's fine.
You're not DMing if you don't have an accent that is meandering.
Yeah. Pardon my ever-changing affectation, as it does change as I travel through this world land.
She did it. Her voice keeps changing. She's a murderer.
Can I help you with anything? I can show you some potions. I can get you maybe some other ointments or tinctures.
What's a tincture when it's at home?
What?
A potion? I don't know.
It's an alcohol based.
What she said. her cleaning experience.
I suppose.
Mrs. Laszlo, it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I don't know if we met on our last visit in town.
No.
But we're just making our way through town, trying to get the lay of the land and speaking to folks to just learn a little bit more about what happened a few days past, the tragedy with Ignacia and their child.
Oh yes. And she looks a little bit. You can tell like she's a little bit upset about it.
I apologize if I'm upsetting you in any way. We don't have to discuss this if you would not be comfortable.
No, it's fine. I mean, I want the person found just as much as anyone else.
Were you close with the deceased?
Well, it's complicated.
I'm like browsing the shelves, half listening. How complicated? How?
Well, Ignacy and I. Well, we were together for a while, and then we went.
I see. I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
Do you we understand that something more than just the deaths occurred. Do you have any thoughts on all of that?
In what way, dear?
Other people in this town seem to have lots of thoughts on what happened in the mausoleum, and I suppose we're just sort of gathering opinions.
They just don't like that, I am providing a necessary need in this town. And, it's a small town, middle of nowhere. They're just not a fan of that. And so I feel like perhaps some of those feelings they are directing, the point finger at, oh, you two used to fight, so now you want to steal her corpse? I don't know. Doesn't seem right to me.
It is unfortunate. Is there a specific reason that you think their ire might be directed at you other than that you used to be together?
Like I said, she kind of points at the family planning section. There's a lot of sort of backwards folk in this town that aren't happy that I provide these tools and services, and perhaps they would like to find a solution to that.
There any of these particular opponents of bodily autonomy that we should know about? Because as a champion of the law, I, of course, would uphold anyone's right to do with their body what they so choose, and must praise you for the work you are doing in this fine town. That being said, any folks that giving you particular trouble about this?
Mostly, Louis Vuitton isn't a huge, or Louis, who runs Louis Vuitton, is not a huge fan of it. Penny, she's had some choice words. Um, the drunkard Reed, even at the tavern, several folks. It's hard to know. A lot of people tend to be a bit two-faced sometimes, and so it's hard to tell who truly thinks what.
It's really unfortunate that they would treat you this way. I imagine that there must be a lot of skill and training that goes into creating items like those.
Oh yes, I went to apothecary school, and I have a certificate. You can see I have it right there on the wall behind me.
So, do you make all of these things in-house? What all can you do? I'm not a magic user or apothecarist myself, so I'm really curious about what all of this is.
Yes, I in the back I've got my mortar pestle and all the tools of trade, and all this is built in house.
What can it do? I'm like over in that section, like, what does this one do?
Well, some of them prevent families, and perhaps.
How do you prevent a whole family?
Well, she looks at the colonel like she doesn't know how this works, right?
No.
Corinne, I don't believe it's a whole family, just the younger generations.
Oh, I see. It's a contraceptive. Okay, I understand. I've just never heard it explained that way. Where I come from on the docks, we're very, very cross. It would make you blush.
And Laszlo, if you would permit me a final question for myself, at least, we have been, part of our duties is just to verify the veracity of any alibis the night of the crime. And would you be able to tell us your whereabouts that night?
Yeah, I was out of town. My father passed away. So I returned there.
Sorry to hear that.
Thank you. I returned there for his a funeral, and that's where I was the night this happened.
It's an unfortunate time of tragedy, apparently, in this town.
Yes, it seems to be.
We heard that Buster was also out of town visiting his ill grandmother. I do hope that she has recovered.
Perhaps. I hope so, too.
Does Colonel, looking around, can I see any evidence of like new purchases or like the Louis Vuitton logo on anything? He's just kind of like, as he's like glancing around.
Yeah, you can kind of see hanging on the wall behind her really, really nice, like kind of like almost diamond studded baton.
He's gonna the Colonel's gonna kind of like just nudge Corinne like with his foot, just a little like, and trying to point with his tusks.
I kind of look at the tusk like, and then I kind of go, oh yes, and like you're like pointing at the
like fancy bag or fancy rod. Sorry, yeah.
I assume that's what it is.
I'm gonna, Colonel. Why don't you go ahead and roll me a stealth?
Ooh, I love that. So normally,
remember, guys, if you want to help. $5 donation for advantage, disadvantage, or reroll for anybody.
Yep. I saw we had an anonymous earlier on. Did that go to anyone?
That was actually before we even started the game.
Oh,
I know Ari asked, but I don't think she got a response.
It's all good. All right. Yeah. Well, normally my stealth would be at disadvantage, but I have a cloak of elven kind, which would be at advantage. So it's just a flat roll.
Yep.
For a -1, so that's a 3, folks.
She kind of rolls her eyes and goes, yes, I bought that recently. I'm guessing you've heard some rumors. Were you at the bank earlier?
Oh, no, I just, I've been thinking of getting the wife a gift, and I thought that Corinne could help me with this whether this might be something she would be interested in.
Oh, yes, I know Mrs. Relish very well.
Let's go ahead and roll deception.
Oh, okay.
Wait, no, actually, okay, real question though. Does he have a wife?
No.
Okay.
He is a man of duty and
I guess that's the real
Let's
question.
have Corinne roll a deception too then.
okay.
You can cast Eagle Splendor on the wrong.
Oh,
Okay, that's actually not too bad. I got a 15.
Okay.
10.
Okay. I'm gonna roll that against her insight.
Oh god.
She not 20'd her insight, so
Oh.
it's like, look, I got a significant inheritance from my father. And so I thought, with everything going on and all that, I'd do a little bit of, shopping therapy.
Retail therapy. Is that my hobby? I do like shopping, but I buy food for the house. Is that a hobby?
Please forgive my associates. They're a little overeager to solve the problem, as it were. I do want you to know that we absolutely feel for you and your multiple losses recently. I'm sorry if any of this has sort of brought up those painful feelings.
Yeah, it didn't feel great.
She gives them both the side eye.
I'm hands back in my pocket.
Colonel's just looking at those modified potions you've got here, Laszlo. He's like stumbling and making a nervous mess.
And I'm following behind him and trying to fix it, put it back the way it was.
Okay, forgive me, Laszlo. Before we leave, I understand this is an uncomfortable situation. Is there any advice or any information that you might have for us that would help us figure out what happened to poor Ignacia? I'm sure that as someone who was once close with her, you also want to find the person who did this.
Well, I would say, find them grave people because, they was buried with riches and they had access, yes.
I've been wanting to do this since kind of the beginning, but I'd like to insight if there's like something she's not telling us.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. I'm gonna use the metal die because it sounds awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, but it did not roll awesome.
But
Screw
you-
you.
Oh no, it's not advantage because
You
it's
know
not.
what?
No.
Only an 11.
As
That
far as
actually-
you can tell, everything seems on the up and up.
Hang on.
Okay.
I've got a sense emotion. Let's see. I instantly learn the target's prevailing emotion, whether it's love, anger, pain, fear, calm, or something else. If the target isn't actually a humanoid or is immune to being charmed, you sense that it is calm. Yeah, I'll do sense emotion.
All right.
Oh,
that-
wait, sorry. I forgot my ear for deceit. So that was only a 4 on the die, which means it's actually an 8. So that's a 15. Sorry.
Again, as far as you can tell, she appears to be on the up and up. Okay. So is there anything that just happens, Kimberly?
Yeah, I think so. Let me read it again. Where did it go? Where are you? Now and as 1A for duration. Wow, that's nonsense. Sense emotion of humanoid in range, sense calm if not humanoid.
Okay.
Yeah, just happens, looks like.
All right. So what you sense, a lot of emotions, but kind of the top one feels like sadness and frustration.
I don't comment on it. Wisely, I do not comment.
Yeah, I
It's
feel like
like
we've
a
gotten. I feel like we've gotten what we needed to here.
Yeah. I think we'll leave you in peace now, so that my friends don't disturb anything else in the shop. But if you do feel like talking, I'm going to be around, and I do like talking to people, and lots of people say I'm easy to talk to. So
Right,
That's true.
She-
She's very easy to talk to.
she
You
gives
can
you
talk
a
about anything.
curt nod and says, "I have to get back to making some more tinctures." And she walks through her little curtain to the back.
Okay.
I
So
make
won
a,
that one over, guys. Good job.
I make a butterfly land on the colonel's face, like right between his eyes, so the wings are like.
Your point is well taken, Althea.
I think we should talk to Mr. Baton, Mr. Wandman. Next.
Is there anything? I hate to burn a spell slot on this, but you know what? I don't have 10 minutes to wait. Can I cast? I just want to use my what is this? Yeah, it's just verbal. So I'll just mutter a little something and waggle my fingers. I want to cast detect magic and just see if there's anything magic. I mean, I guess in the whole room, but mainly I want to look at that rod. I'm just curious if there's anything special about it.
Nothing more than the cosmic radiation magical background.
Okay, good to know. He doesn't. He just kind of looks around. Okay. And I'll just pass that information on to the others as we make our way to the next stop. But I will say to the others, well, if it is not Laszlo that did this, and it's either Buster or Ralph, I say one possibility is if they're at this Battle of the Barbarians and we catch them gambling. The state of their home did not seem to be of a person of incredible wealth, but perhaps if they came into a large amount of wealth, they might have gone and tried to increase that, as it were.
Yeah, they didn't have one bust or fountain anywhere.
Not in sight.
One thing that has been bothering me, though, if it was the two of them, why would they have taken the bodies and not just the valuables? And why the teddy bear?
It's true. I had a suspicion that Laszlo, before we went and spoke with her, that, I mean, this is a dark path that my mind went down, but that if perhaps her love for Ignacia was so great that she might try to bring her back as an apothecary.
That was my thought as well, which is why I asked about her magical training, but she seemed to be very closed off. I can't imagine that people in this town have made her feel comfortable talking, even if she wasn't hiding anything.
No, she was very frustrated. I could tell. She was very frustrated. I don't know why, though.
Astounding. But yes, I wonder if it is these two gentlemen, why they would have wanted the bodies.
Well, I didn't want to pry too far, but if things don't pan out with Buster and Ralph, and we want to return here to the shop, I do have a spell that allows me to detect if there is any undead. But it only lasts for 10 minutes, so...
what if they are not currently un?
Well, in that case, then I would not... It only detects the aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead. However, if we do happen to get our hands on one of the bodies, I have been authorized by my deity to speak with the dead.
Huh. Hands. Well, perhaps this is something better done later, but I have my you two would probably know that she has this magic item, but she like pats her bag where there's it can turn into thing, and I could send it like yes, like a disembodied hand, and I could send it someplace to like investigate for us.
Amazing.
It's creepy. I got creepy items.
I love it.
It's like Thing from the Addams Family.
Yeah.
All right, so let's keep that in our metaphorical back pocket along with the detect undead. I think Corinne, you said you wanted to go speak to this Louis Vuitton.
I think so. She did say that he was very against her, and he could do something to make her look worse to try to get her out of town.
It's true. Oh, and you know what? I forgot to mention the name Larry Fay, but perhaps this Louis Vuitton will be aware of him.
Also, I'm just very curious about what he sells.
Well, also, like, if he is such an enemy of hers, why would she have one of his items?
It's
That's-
quite confusing.
Very true. Why would she go shopping
Well,
at his store?
it's true, you know. But that being said, back in the town where the city where Corinne and I come from, I mean, I completely loathe one of the local mercenary lord mercantilists. One
I'd be very concerned there for a moment.
no, it's Gerard Bezos, and while I can't stand the man, he does get the shipments to our house in a very quick fashion. I mean, I don't know what Corinne and I would do without.
I hate giving that man my money. I really, really do.
It's
But if
terrible.
I can get a book delivered to my house the next day,
Yeah.
and I don't have to go to Spyglass Cove to the library.
Oh, yeah,
It's amazing.
it
But I
really
hate
is.
giving him
But
my
I hate
money.
I can't stand it. So perhaps it's a relationship like that.
Just heads up, Justice gave me disadvantage for the last part of the adventure.
Oh, good.
Ooh.
Does anybody else want to donate and give advantage for this part of the adventure? So that they can make it to the last part of the adventure?
All right, yeah. So I guess off to Louis Vuittons.
Mm-hmm.
So you enter. Louis Vuitton is a luxury goods store that specializes in premium batons.
And what do these batons do? Are they like magic wands? Or are they like cheerleader batons? Or like what is the point of
They're
them?
just batons. I'm sure some people could probably use it as a focus, but there's nothing in as far as you can tell. I mean, he's probably still got his detect magic. Nothing innately magical about them.
They're just
So
pretty
he just
sticks.
yeah,
Yeah.
he sells fancy sticks.
Fancy-
That's-
Okay.
The shop is encased in yellow and brown tones and has a few items to browse through. There's a till in the middle of the shop where you see a gentleman behind it, and in the back corner there's a closed door with a sign that says "Potter Room closed for restorations." And the person behind the counter is a stocky, middle-aged tabaxi with salt and pepper mane. His prize, like it wouldn't be called a mustache. I guess muzzle hair covers
mustache.
his hair lip
Whiskers.
like a caterpillar, and he is wearing a suit and bow tie.
I'm sorry, could you say again what the sign on the door said? I didn't understand the first part.
The sign said "Powder Room closed
Powder
for
room.
restorations."
Got it.
Interesting. Althea, would you like to begin our discussions with Mr. Baton, or perhaps Corinne and I should take a step back in this?
We just got an elephant in a baton shop here.
I mean,
Yeah.
Corinne did seem interested in retail therapy, though. So
It's true. I'm gonna go find like the shiniest looking stick and just be like looking at the stick, I guess. I don't know.
this is
It's
weird.
shiny.
I will sashay up to the counter, I guess.
What are you wearing, by the way?
Oh, she's got her normal. It's like a slinky, above the knee dress. There are definitely like those like spandex shorts on underneath those.
Right,
so when
right, yeah.
it does go down, she can move. But yeah, like she looks very nicely put together. Yeah.
Welcome to my shop. Can I help you?
Oh, well, we're leaving.
Oh, I can't.
Feel free to use these characters as descriptions if you want. Jess.
Hi, yes, I was told that while I was in town, I absolutely had to visit your store because it's just so unique.
It is the place to visit.
And why is that?
Can you not see how amazing my batons are?
I mean, they are very shiny, but I like pick one up. What's the point of it? What do I do with it?
Anything you want, dear. Careful with that one. That's one of my most expensive items.
What's it made of?
It is made of pure electrum inset with emeralds.
Oh, fancy. What's electrum? Is that a stone?
That is the most expensive coin piece in D&D.
Okay. Oh, it's like a metal.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's probably like, $1 million.
Okay.
Are you the skilled craftsman who makes all of these beautiful items?
Oh, no, dear. I import them from all over this great world.
You certainly have an eye for beautiful things.
That is a fact.
Are there any made out of stone?
No. I mean, unless you consider like marble or something like that stone. then
Well,
yes.
yeah.
But not like just stone.
No, but like made out of like a stone material versus
Yes,
metal.
yes, there
versus
are.
wood.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's-
Well, I
yeah.
want to use my stone cutter ability. It's not what it sounds like.
I was gonna say, I'm like, that looks like you guys are gonna be poor when you're done.
Whenever I make an intelligence or history check related to the origin of stonework, I'm considered proficient in the history skill and add double my proficiency bonus to the check. So,
Okay.
So I want to do, what's my proficiency bonus? What is my proficiency bonus? Where are you? 3. So I add 6 to history, so +9. I'm just gonna see if I can determine where this came from. Fuck me. Fart me. 12.
12. You can't really pinpoint exactly where it's from. You can tell by the kind of particular marbling that it has that it's probably from one of the more southern locations of this continent that you're on, which I do not have a name for.
Okay.
And that and you can definitely tell that it was created by a very skilled craftsman.
I ask him. I hold that one up. Where did this one come from?
That came from Pertinoy, the greatest marble cutter town in all the country.
Does that track with where I know it's from?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
That's
cool, yeah.
Yeah. I'm
Corinne,
just
that's where I have a cane. One of my canes at home is made from Pertinoy.
That's the one with the swan on it. I like that one.
While this conversation was happening, while he was focused on Corinne, could Colonel? I almost said Colonel Sanders. Could Colonel? That's another character.
That's
Could
another
Colonel
mess altogether.
Relish have been kind of just looking at the part of the shop near where the powder room is? And I want to get like I want to see if I can do another keen smell just to see if there's anything, I don't know, out of the norm for a room that's under construction.
Absolutely. Let's do a perception.
Okay.
An investigation, I should say.
I'm glad that was advantage because that's a 1, but that is a total of 23.
So with that, you definitely sense that for being unused, there seems to have been a lot of perfumed smells passing through here. In this area specifically.
Also, while Corinne was distracting the store owner, I wanted to sort of like looking like I'm browsing, sort of like slide behind Colonel Relish because he seems like a really great wall, and very subtly smudge some of my makeup.
Uh-huh.
And then I would like to be, looking at something shiny and sort of realize that it is smudged.
Uh-huh.
And be like, oh, gosh, I'm so clumsy today. Excuse me, do you have a mirror or someplace where I could go and fix my face?
Oh, I'm sorry, dear, but the room is under construction. I can't really let you in there. Too dangerous. Something could fall on you.
I
Wait, now
mean,
I've just gone straight into what's the name. I love to laugh.
I'm trying to figure out what that voice was. I'm like, I know that voice. Like,
I promise to be extremely careful. I only need a moment to fix this. You can imagine how embarrassing it is for a girl like me to go out with my makeup smudged.
I don't think I've ever seen her without her makeup on.
Let me check something here real quick. I I'm sorry. I can't let you.
Even with the spell on me. I'm trying so hard.
I mean, I guess did you roll persuasion?
No, you hadn't told me to.
Let's do it. Why not? Let's see.
Why roll a dice? It's a roll.
And this is an advantage on? Is that what it gives me, Nick?
Yeah.
Mad Hatter, that's what I was thinking of.
Well, that was one thing. Let's try something else. Oh my goodness. Are they really the same? That's ridiculous. That was a 14 total for persuasion.
He's like, 1 second. Let me just check it. So he goes in, he like kind of slides through the door, just opening it just wide enough for him to squeak through.
So we couldn't see anything beyond it?
You could try.
I will try. Why not? Because I have dark vision.
I'll let you do. Yeah, I'll let you do
Dark
either
vision.
investigation or perception.
Natural 19 on the die with my perception is a 26.
You didn't really see anything, but you hear like a crowd.
Hear a what?
Crowd. Like, huh.
Like the
Like
like people cheering?
like as if there were a bunch of people milling about,
Oh. Okay.
and maybe a little bit of music.
It's a speakeasy, you guys.
While he is away,
Yes,
because he's in the room, Althea, if I am able to, if we can create a distraction, I can use a little cantrip to open that door, and you could send your little hand down there. Can it see or communicate?
Unclear. Well, I think he's about to open the door for me, which would be very nice. The hand says
it can see normally, but cannot speak.
Yeah.
I picture that scene
So
in
you can't see through it.
Right.
Okay.
Addams Family where he's trying to write and like Gomez is like, "Stop stuttering, man!"
Yeah.
And so he starts.
So yeah. It could
Yeah,
like
just basically picture it. Its thing. It's
Yeah.
basically
Yeah.
thing.
Okay.
The door creaks open again, and he kind of slips back out and says, I'm sorry, dear. It's way too dangerous in there for you.
She pouts a little.
There's
understand.
hanging wires. I don't even know what those are.
Wires. Yeah.
Uh,
I understand. Thank you anyway.
can I use my thaumaturgy to make it sound like a great crash and breaking glass happens in the bathroom?
Ooh.
Nice.
Yeah, let's see it.
Yeah, it's just a cantrip. So just you manifest a minor wonder.
Okay.
You can. Here's the tricky part. You can create a sound, and it can be like a rumble of thunder, cry of a raven. You can also instantaneously cause an unlocked door or window to fly open. And it says if you cast it multiple times, you can have up to 3 of the effects active. So I want it to sound like something really loud, like falls over and crashes, and then also open up the door. And the way, it's a verbal spell. And so I'm kind of thinking that the Colonel has like his hands behind his back and he's like walking around looking at stuff and he's just humming under his breath, and he causes that to happen, if you'll allow that.
Okay, the door. There's a loud crash sound, and the door swings open, and Louis goes, "Oh no!" And what you see behind the door is a speakeasy.
Yeah.
There's a sign hanging down in there that says Club Faye.
Here we go.
It's dimly lit, decorated with golden and blue tones and abstract paintings. It smells of ripe peaches. There's a large bar and many booths, including a small kind of back room with a table and some chairs. And in there you also see a gentleman who I am not going to change his appearance for this one. A gentleman who appears to be a half-elf, wearing a dark fedora and three-piece suit, and has a big grin and dark coiled hair that rests just below his pointed ears. And Louis goes, "Oh, damn it!"
Well, Mr. Baton, it seems that you were perhaps a little bit less than forthright with us about the construction in your lavatory.
This is a members only place. Didn't really. I'm not supposed to be just telling anybody about it.
Well, that's understandable. We don't blame you.
The other gentleman walks up and goes, "What is happening here?"
She just needed to use the bathroom and then boom.
He gives Louis this like kind of burning look.
In all of the whatever, she has since fixed her makeup and is now giving
course.
this guy who Faye is the last name of the other character that was mentioned earlier, isn't it?
That is correct.
Yeah, so she's giving Mr. Faye some eyes and says, "Oh, please don't blame Mr. Baton. We were just overly curious."
It's a fault of ours.
He looks at Louis and says, "Yes, well, curiosity killed the cat."
The cat's out of the speakeasy, as it were.
Well,
But
you
not
know
the elephant.
about it. Come
No.
in, come in.
Oh,
And he
thank
walks
you.
back in.
Oh, well, don't mind if I do.
At least you guys are dressed for it.
Yeah.
I mean, Corinne is dressed to be the support of someone dressed for it, so.
Just like that.
And you
Yes,
can
I
see
guess
there's
we'll
a handful
enter.
of kind of just patrons hanging about, bartender behind the bar.
I'm sorry. Also, it's like not quite noon.
Yeah, but it's a speakeasy. You
Cool.
think they're just going by the average rules of average people?
Awesome. It's 5 o'clock somewhere in Faerun.
Exactly. All right. So, what do you do?
You must be Mr. Larry Fay.
Yes, I am. My name precedes me.
As a
We got a
Oh.
re-roll for all y'all.
Woo!
Ooh,
Even
thanks.
me? Oh yeah.
Oh, no. Less thanks.
to use it when they see fit.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
well, Mr. Fay, I'm sure you know about the terrible business that took place in the graveyard a few nights past. You probably get all sorts of folks in here with gossips and rumor mongering and whatnot.
Oh yes, terrible thing. Very, very bad.
And we may have heard that some of the folks might have even been spending time here in your speakeasy, Miss Laszlo, perhaps.
Where's Laszlo?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I know
Yes,
that.
she's been here a couple times, sort of a new member of the club. Yes.
What do you need to do to be a member?
Well, be able to keep your mouth shut and be able to spend a lot of coin.
Well, sorry, Corinne.
I'm good at one of those things.
And I pull out my coin purse and I trundle up to the bar and I want to order an orange juice.
Just
Oh,
orange
what's
juice?
what's the Colonel's favorite drink?
I'm gonna say a peach Bellini.
Okay, and I get one of those for him too.
Okay. The place
a
does
little-
smell like
just-
peaches, so
yeah, just
I'm
a little
guessing that's
sp-
coming.
A little sparkling wine, peaches, some lemon juice, a little sugar on the rim.
Oh, I'm
That
sure I
is-
know
that is their
exactly. I'm
specialty
over there. I'm
drink.
over here like instructing the bartender exactly how to do it right.
It's their specialty drink. They know.
Ooh.
It is like
Perfect.
big writing on the menu.
Perfect.
I don't know if I agree with the extra shot of ginger, but I think we can try it, but if he doesn't like it, we're gonna try this again.
Yeah, so I will take the very teeny Bellini glass in my very large elephantine hands, and just sip it. Well, that's just delightful. It's got a little kick. Some is that ginger?
Yes,
Yes, it is. Yes,
it is. We had a little extra sousant of ginger to make it the best drink ever.
Well, that's just wilder than a flock of flumps in the Feywild, if I do say so myself. But to each their own. I'm more of a classic man myself, but I find this to be quite delectable.
So,
This
is there
is-
anything I can do for you?
This is quite the place you have here, Mr. Fay. How were you inspired to build such a fun place?
Oh, well, I grew up in a very extravagant town, and all the places, even just the house, the stable place, was gold leafed, and I felt I should bring that out to more people, and so I felt perhaps this town of Mossbank needed a little pick me up, so to speak.
Is he embellishing?
Probably.
Yeah. 19 insight.
It's mostly true, but definitely, he's making himself seem a bit more than he actually is.
Yeah. Oh, I completely agree. I think what you've done here is really, really wonderful. And yes, you're right. Mossbank definitely needed something classy about it.
Tell me about it.
She's gonna do the
Depends on your definition of class.
like slip her hand through his arm thing. And just sort of casually be there.
He gives you kind of a look that goes, this might be the wrong tree, but what's up, bestie?
I mean, yeah, she's she does this with everyone. It's fine.
Yeah.
And Mr. Fay, are you familiar at all with the one Ralph or Buster? Are they members of this fine establishment?
They would not even be let in the door of Louis Vuitton's, let alone through the powder room. No, we cater more to the upscale folks, and Louis is supposed to keep the riffraff away.
Are you calling us riffraff?
Absolutely not.
All right, because I keep his suits nice and shiny. And if you think it makes him a ruffian, we'll have words, mister.
I think it is a perfectly passable suit.
Passable?
Now, Corinne, let's let the man and his froofy standards lie as they are. Mr. Fay,
I'll show him possible.
when Miss Laszlo joined your club, did she pay in currency?
Oh, I let Louis handle that grunt work.
Interesting. Does the Colonel notice anyone in the room wearing like a nice necklace, like something that might, I don't know, perhaps been pilfered from a grave? Did we get any sort of a description of what it might look like?
No.
Okay. All right.
I don't know. Can you smell the grave on it?
Well, that's what I was thinking is like, because
Ew.
I took that like deep whiff in the mausoleum, I'm trying to see
yeah.
if there's like anyone here that might like match.
Let's roll an
But-
investigation,
that.
shall we?
Okay. 16.
Okay. With that, very, very subtly, you do smell. It seems like there might be a little bit of a smell that you smelled in the mausoleum. Very faint, though.
Ooh, that smell.
Interesting. And do I notice if it's coming from anyone in particular?
It doesn't seem to be coming from anyone. It does seem to be coming from the direction of the back room. The little like set away room.
Interesting. Go ahead.
So is it everyone in Mossbank's sort of upper class that's allowed in here, or only a more elite set?
Well, like I said, it depends on whether or not you can keep your mouth shut. He eyeballs at Corinne. Or, and if you have enough coin.
Interesting. Sorry, I do not remember the last name of these people, but is Esmeralda a member?
She is. In fact, she was here recently with a wizard.
With a wizard? Oh, that's interesting. Someone from out of town?
Yes.
Oh. And this person was also allowed in as her guest?
Absolutely. He said he could keep his mouth shut, and he had plenty of coin.
Oh, well, there you go. Was he an interesting conversationalist? I think people with that kind of schooling usually have interesting stories.
He was a very worldly man. He was coming in, and he makes higher class potions and magical items for folks. He was offering his services to folks, and he and Esmeralda met in that back room over there to talk over something. I do not pry.
Oh, no, of course not. That just sounds fascinating.
The back room, is that just meant for private discussions?
Usually that is it is reserved for that. It's not doesn't cost anything extra, anything. Just it's a little offset. So if there's some private conversations what need to happen, well, that's a good place to have them.
Is anyone back there as it were right now?
There is not.
I think maybe we should have a private conversation.
Is she winking at the Colonel or at Larry?
At the Colonel and Althea, like,
Yeah.
If you catch my drift.
Well, I don't know. Are we imposing, Mr. Fay? I suppose we sort of wandered in here under atypical circumstances.
You know what? No. Try before you buy. Have a seat.
Oh, thank you. That's very kind.
If you excuse me, I'm going to attend to some of the other patrons.
Of course. Have a wonderful time.
Thank you. All right, so you guys head on over to the little back room.
Yep.
Yeah, just we have a little chat.
Okay.
I don't like him.
Simmer down, Corinne. You don't have to like him.
I should let the two of you know I notice a somewhat just faintly familiar odor coming from this room as
Yeah, it's definitely stronger now than it was before.
how
Althea sort of like pulls away
Yeah.
from all the furniture, like.
a scent, if you would. Is it all descriptive? Is it like
It's. I mean, there were a lot of scents you smelled. It
Yeah.
wasn't a death smell. It's more
Sure.
of like almost like a smell of kind of multitude of reagents and stuff.
okay? Interesting. But there's nothing in the room that would indicate like
That it's coming from there.
yeah. Okay. Well, it's possible if this wizard that we're just now hearing about was meeting with Esmeralda. I mean, we may have us another situation where the prime suspect, the suspect turns out to be not exactly who we was looking for in the beginning.
I mean, that's sort of why I observed earlier that everyone in this town seems to be quite sure of their own suspicions right from the start. It seems like they're never right, which I suppose is why they need us, but still.
If they was right, they could just be like, "You're arrested."
Right.
But
But that would, again, lead us back to a person who wanted to take the bodies as well as the items. Although, if it were Esmeralda, why do it in such a way that that there was a lot of fuss and that it was obvious that something had been taken?
when did he say that she was there with the wizard? Was it?
He didn't.
Oh.
Well, perhaps this Esmeralda wanted to cast aspersions upon Laszlo and make it look as if Laszlo was the one involved. And it sounds like this new wizard friend of hers would probably benefit greatly from the disappearance or the banishment of Laszlo from town if he is also a man of potions himself.
Oh, I
Mhm.
see. Interesting. Huh.
Did you want to check out this booth for anything if they were sitting here?
Yeah, definitely would look to Althea and her investigative skills if there's anything. Or Corinne, both of them.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
I you
Yeah.
know, if this is kind of a room used for shenanigans or anything, like I'm just gonna, I don't know, almost like housekeeping proficiency can almost be like forensics, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Identify that
Let's roll investigation.
and roll
And
investigation.
I think if she's doing general, I would be thinking like, again, speakeasy is all about sort of like subterfuge and sneakiness. So I guess I would be paying special attention for things like places where secret notes or items could be stashed, stuff like that.
I want to use my reroll because I got a 1.
Okay.
That's better. Modified 20.
22.
Okay. As you guys are just kind of poking and prodding while you're talking, feeling sides of the seats, and it's a booth, right? So you got like that little space, and your fingers do touch a piece of wood. So you pull that out, and you find that it is a room key for the Humbuddy Inn. It's room 9.
Mm.
Oh,
They don't open until 2 o'clock.
they don't. But
time
now
is it
we
now?
have this.
I would say by now we're kind of at noonish.
Okay.
Okay.
The tavern isn't open till 2, but it's a hotel, so you can just
I was
Right.
okay because that seemed a little weird to me. Like,
yeah,
get a room and
right.
okay.
Right, like the counter's gonna be mostly unmanned until around 2.
And how much longer do we have on the spell that's on me?
I would say at this point it's gone.
Well, we have no way of knowing whether or not this key belongs to the 2 individuals we're interested in, but we have a key.
That's a start for something. Well, keep in mind, let's think. We still have to go, so we've got to go check out the Humbuddy Inn. And we still got to eventually go to this barbarian bash to interview Roger and Buster and Ralph.
Ralph.
So we should probably make haste. I should let you all know if there's anything if we find ourselves in a situation where we need to charm a large group of people, such as a room like this, I do have the ability to once or twice a day, let's say, enchant a large amount of people as to make them more pliable to our discussions. But it's obviously something I would draw quite a bit of attention.
You are very enchanting, Colonel.
That's what
You're
I have been told.
Very enchanting.
And I do appreciate this completely unbiased opinion that you bring to the situation.
Oh yes, I'm everything but biased.
Well, so should we go and check out this inn, or since it's not open yet, should we go to the barbarian and then stop by the inn?
We also haven't spoken to Esmeralda herself.
This is true.
But you should finish your drink first.
Mm.
Yeah,
My orange juice.
It's in his trunk at this point, and he puts it in and then finishes the rest of it.
Nice.
All right, so which is it then? So Esmeralda, barbarians, or the inn?
Well, same question as before. Would you rather investigate the room at the inn before speaking with Esmeralda in case, as Corinne said, we want to catch her in a lie? Or
That's
would
true.
we rather speak with her first?
Well, my only concern is, will there be suspicion if we go to this inn with this key? Will they know that we are not the inhabitants of said room? I am not exactly, even with this fancy new cloak, I'm not exactly the stealthiest of individuals. Perhaps one of us could go in while the others maintain watch outside?
Well, if we're going to be staying here for a while, we might need a room of our own. And they're not going to watch us if we just go
That's
wandering the halls.
Yeah, that's why I keep you around, Corinne, for the common sense that you bring to the situation.
That's a wonderful idea, yes. Should we do that then? Go and procure a room for ourselves and then just wind up in a different room?
I say so.
We go to do that.
We do that.
All right, so you wander on over to the Humbuddy, it's a small tavern and inn. as you recall from last time, there are about 10 guest rooms, although Mossbank almost never has enough guests to fill all the rooms. Some of the rooms are probably rented for the Battle of the Barbarians, though, which is probably nice for the innkeep. And then when you enter, you're in the bar area. It's pretty much empty because they're not quite open yet. And outside there's a small fire pit with some tree stumps that you can use. They can sit outside and get together as well. You see Bonneville, the innkeeper, kind of just doing what she does to prepare for opening up. So her back's to you right now.
Well, we haven't seen you in a while, Bonneville. How have you been?
She turns around and goes, "Oh dear, welcome back. It is so nice to see you again."
It's wonderful to see you as well. We've stopped by, and we think we might be here for a little while, so we were wondering if we could borrow a room from you.
What are you here for? Not another murder, I hope.
Oh, no more murders, but yes, of course, work. That is how we get to travel most of the time.
Oh, are you here for those grave robberies?
You've guessed it.
You could solve mysteries with us. You're so good.
Well, tell you what, for everything you did last time, you can have a room for free.
That is so generous of you. Are you sure?
Absolutely. Just make sure you talk to Buster and Ralph. I'm pretty sure that they did it.
Oh?
They
Why
have
would
the
you say
means and motives. And it's just it was weird. They had last year after the whole kerfuffle, they had a bit of a falling out. There was a pretty big argument. And then just a few nights ago, about maybe a week ago, I would say, they're back here and drinking together, and then there's 2 grave robberies. So where Buster works, it just doesn't seem to be. Just doesn't seem like a coincidence.
Oh, so you're saying that the pals were not pals for a little while.
That's correct. And then all of a sudden they were.
Interesting.
Honestly, I wouldn't put it past them to have been involved in the tragic death either.
Well, do you know what the nature of their disagreement was?
It was just one wanted to go straight, and the other said that there was better money in beating people up. And I told them, well, why don't you have that conversation outside?
I would say so. Interesting. Which was it, if you could hear this conversation, which was it who wanted to sort of go on the level?
If I recall, it was Buster wanted to go on the level, and he's the one who started working at the graveyard first, and then Ralph magically started following suit.
Interesting. Well, thank you for your insight. You certainly are the sort of person who would get to know everyone in town and have a informed opinion.
I like getting to know people in town. And she hands you a key to room 10.
And we had the key to room 9 already.
That is correct.
Awesome.
And says, and I apologize, but there's been some constant moaning for quite some time from one of the rooms, so let me know if it bothers you. It seemed to have let up for a little while, but...
To sort of having a good time moaning or something else?
Having a bad time moaning.
Right.
It was very muffled, so I really hope in my inn it's a good time.
And how long would you say these sounds have been emanating from this room?
A few days.
A few days, and you didn't think to investigate the source? I guess it's your inn, your propriety.
No, Colonel, she's a busy woman.
This is true.
Battle of the Barbarians has kept me very busy.
Apparently, so are they.
Well, In any case, I'm sure we'll be all right. Thank you, Bonneville.
Thank you.
I'm sure you'll see us later.
I hope
Let's
so.
let's go stow our belongings in our room, friends.
Let's.
All right.
And after we're out of earshot, like, Colonel, you might want to bring up that spell you mentioned now.
Yeah, I was going to wait till we get to the top of the stairs and see if we can hear if the sounds are indeed coming from room 9.
Okay. So at the moment, you don't hear any sounds at all.
Interesting. I will, just to be safe, I will go ahead and cast Detect Evil and Good. It will work for it's up to 10 minutes. Within, as long as there's not more than a foot of stone, an inch of metal, lead, or 3 feet of wood. So if it's a door, I could definitely detect through it. And so tell me if there's aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead within 30 feet.
So you don't detect any of those, but room 9 does feel magically desecrated.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Magically consecrated or desecrated is also. Okay.
I know I brought it up on Roll20, so I made sure.
Yeah. Well, friends, there's something doesn't smell right in that room. It's like a pack of hobgoblins at a gala. It's just with just hooting and hollering with their halberds. It just doesn't feel right in there.
Your eloquence never fails to amaze me, Colonel. Are we on the second floor kind of thing?
Yeah, it's kind of
Okay.
upstairs to get to the rooms.
Yeah. Huh. But these two rooms are adjacent to one another?
You know how hotels are, even usually on one side, on one side, so you're kind of across.
Okay. Cool.
Well, do we have any sort of way of seeing what might be on the other side without actually entering the room? Or should we just go for it? I mean, we have the key.
Let me see. I'm of the divination school.
I have something, but it's probably noticeable.
Yeah. I mean, and if it's something, if we feel confident, we can go for the door.
You're deputized, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's fair, but
I mean, I just don't want this to be another situation where I wander into something and then have to scream for help. So
I've got so unseen servant, that's a mindless, invisible, shapeless. That's not something that could go in, investigate, and then report back, right? It can't communicate in any way.
I think. Let me refresh, because we did use that before. I feel like the answer is a strong maybe. Let me bring it up here real quick.
It can perform a simple task that a human servant could do, such as fetching things, cleaning, mending, folding clothes, lighting fire, serving food, and pouring wine. Yeah, probably. I'm going to say probably not. Sensor. I have something called remote access for some reason. It lets me use any electronic device within range as if it was in my hands.
I've never heard of that one.
Yeah, like those wires that Larry mentioned earlier, or that Louis mentioned earlier.
Well, you know what? Look, we're capable adventurers. Some would say we might even be 3 times as capable as we were the last time that we came here. We have a key and we have a door, and there is something beyond it. I have here, and he's got his gavel at his side. I think we are more than capable of defending ourselves if there's something untoward on the other side.
Okay.
So yeah. Althea, I believe you have the key.
I do.
Would you like to do the honor?
I will check the door for anything suspicious first.
Ooh, let me open it.
What? Why?
Why? I've got an idea. Do
you want me to check the door for dangerous things first?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna do that first.
And then I
Mama
grab
didn't
my
raise no
broom
fool.
and I have my broom in my hand.
Okay. That's investigation?
Sure.
Looking for traps. 13. That sucks.
You don't see any traps.
Okay, Corinne, here's the key.
I go up to the door with my broom. Housekeeping!
Oh, good lord.
There is no answer.
So I open the door.
Room 9 is a complete mess and has a very pungent odor.
I hope they tip their stuff well.
There are scratch marks on the wall and dirt clods everywhere. And bed sheets have been removed to cover the windows.
Mm.
Also, the pungent smell is very familiar from the crypt and not in a perfumey way.
Mhm.
There is a small desk with a locked business ledger on top.
Althea, is that something that your skilled Dexter's hands could open?
I can certainly try.
Is it the same dirt from the graveyard? Can we tell?
Sure, let's roll. It'll be a pretty difficult check, but let's do an investigation.
21?
That's pretty good.
Those are dirt.
It does appear to be very, like, the grass length seems to be the same grass length.
I know my dirt, and that's the same dirt from the mortuary. No,
Mausoleum.
there it is. Mausoleum.
And the dirt is. Are there any side of blood or like embalming fluids or anything that we would associate with bodies as well?
Do you want to look around, see if you see anything?
Yeah.
Well, while they're looking, I'm going to close the door behind us.
Mhm.
That's a natural 20 for it's either a 25 if it's investigation or a 27 if it's perception. I realized I didn't see which one. So
you do see, like, where there are claw marks. You can see some very off color, like, fingernails and kind of definitely older looking, like, flesh.
oh no. Okay. But nowhere that a body could have left other than the door that we came through.
The windows don't appear broken.
Okay.
Do they open?
They do.
Sounds like the colonel wanted me to open the ledger box.
All right. So on the cover is an hourglass that when you pick up the book, it blinks orange. While you hold it, the sand passes through the hourglass, first filling up the bottom, and then going in reverse.
Somebody with magic want to tell me what this is doing?
Yeah, I've got identify.
And she sort of like puts it back on the desk.
I choose one object that I must touch throughout the casting of the spell. If it is a magic item or some other magic imbued object, you learn its properties and how to use them, whether it requires attunement and how many charges it has, if any. You learn whether any spells are affecting the item and what they are. If the item was created by a spell, you learn which spell created it. Yeah. So I do that.
Okay. So what school of magic would that be?
It's divination, I think.
No, I mean that you're
Oh,
looking at, because that's one of the things. I guess it would probably be.
it's a 1 minute
Yeah, it's
casting, I think.
Whatever a lock spell would be under. Well, since you know what it is too.
Yeah.
It appears to be a magical lock, and you say it tells you how to use it?
Yes.
Okay. Well, you need to press the button for 30 seconds.
Okay.
All right, so you press it for 30 seconds, and the book relaxes its spine and opens up.
You've got to stroke it.
That was very nicely done, Corinne.
In it, you're probably looking through what the ledger says, and you see kind of some entries for previous services rendered. It looks like Timmy, 1 copper point and a dandelion bouquet to heal his pet toad, Hoppy, at the Hum Buddy about 4 days ago. Larry Fay, 75 gold. Had a minor ailment. Was in the Club Fay about 3 days ago. Esmeralda Wethington, 10,000 gold pieces. Resurrection, Mossbank Memorial Hill, dated about 3 days ago.
Hey.
Egret Ital, about 1,000 gold pieces. Seance, Mossbank Memorial Hill, today.
Awesome.
What could that ailment for Larry Fay have? Oh, wait.
I think we solved it.
Well, resurrection gone awry, I guess. This
Well-
doesn't sound like the way it. I don't
no,
know.
the claw
It does-
marks and
It doesn't sound or look like it
And
went
moaning.
the way it should.
No.
So-
no.
Zombies moan.
Huh?
Zombies. They do that noise.
It's true.
Took the day of.
It is the died.
So, all right. Well, this would seem to clearly at least confirm who took the bodies, but it still doesn't explain why would you need to go about such a backwards, dark and mysterious way of doing this. I mean, resurrections are not. Well, I guess maybe they might be looked down upon in this town if they're against even something as simple as family planning. Then there's not much more you can plan for a family than bringing them back from the dead.
And clearly, this wizard, he's much inferior to the resurrectionist we use for Savano back home.
That's true. This is true.
Because he hardly ever comes back.
Really important point of order here, Colonel. You might be the best to. Well, both of you, I suppose. Isn't resurrecting normally a not wizard kind of thing to do?
Right, I'm a wizard and I don't know how to do it.
Yeah,
I
well,
would go to a cleric or a paladin or some
Right.
sort of.
So
those wizards that dabble in such typically are more necromantic in their capabilities. Animating dead is one thing, but to
Right.
bring life back, you're correct. Unless he was perhaps a multi-class.
not to meta or anything.
Yeah.
Right. So
In
perhaps
which case, he's a pretty high level.
To have access.
so perhaps he is a scammer of some kind.
Yes. I think this would be quite true. I think that at this point, we've got to speak to Esmeralda herself. I mean, obviously, Ralph and Buster may still be involved, but
They could have been the brute work. They could have been the one who actually hoofed the bodies and hoof, hoof, hoof.
If the bodies aren't here right now, I have some concerns that perhaps Esmeralda is maybe not having a good time. So we might want to make haste.
yes.
I think so, yeah.
What I did want to was going to suggest as we leave, we should perhaps ask Bonneville if any strange hooded figures left the inn in the last day or so.
Or came in with some large bags,
Yeah.
heavy looking bags.
Do we want to? I assume we want to take this ledger with us as a point of evidence. Corinne, if you wouldn't mind, just covering up any of our involvement here, but don't clean the room. I know that.
Oh, I know. I have
be
to
here
leave
for
the
hours.
underwear on the floor. I can't wash it. It's all right. I understand. But I will put them back where I found them after we stepped on it.
Yes. Well, yeah, I think that's the Colonel would just want to make sure as we left to just stop by Bonneville. But I don't know if anyone else has anything else they want to do in this room.
Nah.
No. Yeah, I think, hourglass and whatever, we might be dealing with a time thing now.
Yeah, and how much time does it look like was left in the hourglass?
It just
Or did
it basically it's telling you to wait 30 seconds. About
Oh,
Oh,
that's
it's
it.
a 30.
I meant more
But-
that it was a symbol of once we've gotten to this
Yes.
point, we might be
Yeah,
on a timed adventure.
Good point. So yeah, if we could just stop by and just ask Madame Bonneville, any strange
yes.
cloaked or heavily clothed folks leave,
Encumbered.
or with large boxes or bags, anything like that, leave recently?
Uh, I wouldn't say. I mean, we've had some folks show up. I mean, it's Battle of the Barbarians, so we've got some folks who are participating in that. So they had quite a bit of stuff to bring. Their armor, weapons, whatnot.
And room 9. Do you happen to recall who rented that room from you?
Well, I can't just. I know you're doing an investigation, but privacy is important to me.
I just say because my dear employer, Colonel Relish, he's got a sensitive nose. He doesn't like to talk about it, but
It's true.
there's a
I
bit
sneeze.
of there's a bit of You get my drip?
What?
You get my draft?
I will not judge the cleanliness of my patrons.
All right, all right.
Okay,
But
well,
cleanliness is next to godliness. I should know I work for a cleric.
this is true. If we were to go and make our way to the battle of the barbarians, would we? Do we need admission, or is it just open to the public?
Asking me or?
Oh yeah, sorry. Asking Bonneville as
Oh.
the a little bit of a concierge of the town.
Yes, you'll need to buy a ticket to get in.
Okay, I'm sure we can cover that. Well, Madam Bonneville, thank you as always for your assistance.
Of course, anything.
See you later.
See ya. By the way, what's everyone's passive perception? I'm gonna need that later.
Colonel's is 17.
You say perception?
Yeah, passive perception.
17.
13.
You guys are very perceptive people normally. Okay. Okay, so you guys are leaving the tavern, and you kind of see a small feminine tabaxi kind of just sitting at a table crying. So sniffling.
In the tavern?
Yep.
Bonneville, who's that? And what's wrong with her?
I'm not 100% sure what's wrong with her, but that's her name is Ygritte.
Ygritte?
Mhm.
Is she's from Mossbank?
Yes.
What is she drinking?
She's I'm not technically open, but she needed a little bit of hair of the dog, so I gave her a shot of whiskey.
Can I bring her another just to see if it'll help?
Sure. So she hands you a whiskey to bring to her.
Mm-hmm. And I will gently sort of slide in or sit down at the table
Hair of the
next
cat,
to
yes.
this person. And say, hi, looks like you could use another.
Oh, thank you.
No problem. What seems to be the trouble?
I miss my Bobbert. I just want to talk to him one last time. I'm having a séance tonight at the Mossbank Memorial, and I know that I shouldn't mess with the dead, but the wizard says everything will be okay.
This person was important to you. Is important to you.
My husband.
Oh, I'm so very sorry.
Thank you.
But you found a way to be able to speak with him?
That's what the wizard said.
Oh, someone from around here?
He's a traveling wizard named Pablo. I met him, and then she's like realizes someplace.
Oh, no worries. I've also experienced loss. I know what it can feel like to want to do anything to fix it. But he's going to help you tonight?
Yes.
That's wonderful. Stay safe, and I hope you get what you want.
Thank you.
Friends, that's the most recent entry in the ledger.
I kind of like turn around, I open it up, and I'm like, ah, the seance.
I feel like we might want to finish whatever all of this is before
Yep.
the seance, because if he is in fact a scammer, that could also go poorly.
I agree.
Uh,
Last thing we need is a whole swarm of undead running around this town.
Exactly.
and more sad ladies. Poor
Right.
thing.
Yeah. So,
Where are you heading?
Guess to the barbarians, or
Yeah.
or to where Esmeralda, or yeah, because we don't know where Esmeralda. We could go to Esmeralda's house.
Yeah, there's that manor house, the Wethington Manor.
Yeah.
Okay.
even if the two graveyard workers did have some part to play in this, I'm not sure that it's as pressing to talk to them as it is to find where the bodies may have ended up.
Yeah.
This is a fair point. Let's go and check out this Wethington Manor then,
Okay.
with haste.
All right. So you, it takes a little bit longer because it is on the outskirts of town. But when you get there, you see that the estate is gated and surrounded by various fruit trees, and it features a small water fountain. It's a brick house, which is rather unique in this area.
Anything as I'm approaching, because if it's, well, no, I guess it would have taken. Did it take longer than 10 minutes to get here?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I don't still have my aura then. All right. Well, I guess just prepare ourselves for anything.
Hang on. Let me see. I have. Ugh, I have to scroll so far. One willing creature you touch is protected against certain types of creatures, aberrations, celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, and undead. Okay, that's only one person. Okay, so I'm not gonna do that yet, but
Okay.
I have that if we need it.
Okay. Yeah, I say we keep a ready eye, ready hand for anything that we might encounter for dealing with the undead here, or a wizard.
Or
In either
both.
case, I have a particular spell prepared to deal with this spellcaster if they tend to mean us any harm.
So you, the gate is open.
Mhm.
So you're at the front door. Do you just go in? What do you do?
I'm probably
Yeah, I mean the colonel now, like given the Althea's suggestion, is probably feeling like this is something we need to. So he's just gonna, as he walks up, he's just gonna clap his hands and cast thaumaturgy to open up the doors.
nice.
Make an entrance.
You're right. You slam the door open. Inside in the manor features many paintings of the Wethington family. There's 2 bedrooms, an office, a large den, a kitchen area. You can see that a lot of the surfaces have kind of accrued dust and dander. And then 1 bedroom and office have sheets over all the items in the room. And then the other bedroom features a canopy bed, a wardrobe, rug, small and a small chest and a vanity desk. You can see that there was a struggle in this room. The chest is open and empty. The wardrobe appears also to be missing quite a few garments.
But no sign of any any actual living beings in the house.
No signs of a living being.
Uh-oh.
There's not even staff.
No.
Clearly not. They haven't been sweeping or dusting or anything.
Well,
But there is a body on the bed.
Oh. Okay.
Okay.
The body of who does it appear to be?
Yeah.
Yeah, like whose body is
Especially
it?
because there are paintings, we might be able to tell who it is, right?
It does look like the body's only been there maybe for a couple days.
Okay.
Is it? Does it appear to be feminine, masculine?
Feminine. It based on some of the descriptions you've gotten, it appears to be Esmeralda.
And she has claw marks and bite marks on her?
Do you
question
want to
mark?
do a medicine check?
I don't know if I'm the best person to do that.
The colonel, seeing Althea kind of, I'll take a look, dear. And he will take his spectacles, put them on the end of his, top of his nose, I should say, and go over to investigate the body.
Okay.
And I'll give you, so I'll give you a medicine check.
Yes.
Pretty good at these. It's 21.
Ooh.
Oh, nice. So based on that, where'd you go? You can tell that this body was strangled to death.
Oh.
Well, he takes his glasses. This does not appear to be a murder of a act of a mindless undead, but of a particularly vengeful humanoid. If you all would be okay with it, given the time, I know we might be in a bit of a rush, but I do have the ability to speak with the deceased.
I think that would be. I think that would be best.
I agree.
I do have a question for Jess, because I'm having a hard time finding where this is. You said that there's a passive perception that they all beat sees a pile of debris next to the bed, and I'm not sure where that is, what's special about it. So if you could fill me in. You guys do see a pile of debris next to the bed.
Okay. Well, while we wait for Jess to respond,
but there's more room to look at.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you all want to look around the room while the colonel gets set up, because it looks like, Speak with Dead takes, it's actually an instant action, so never mind. I thought it took time. He's just going to get set up. He has some incense that he uses, and he's just going to get that set up.
I like that.
Yeah, while he's doing that, this is an adult's room or the adult's room?
I think, it's like the master bedroom.
Yeah, and the other bedroom with the sheets over it and stuff is perhaps a child's room. Okay.
Yeah.
So reminder, there was a desk in the room, the empty chest, wardrobe, all that stuff.
I'm going to just kind of look around the room and investigate the room at large, I guess, not looking for anything in particular. Just seeing if anything. I got a nat one. This die is fired.
You don't notice anything.
I'm getting a different die. This one.
Jess says to check the murder section. I was going to look specifically for the item used to strangle Esmeralda, assuming that it wasn't just hands.
Yeah, would the colonel be able to determine that? We'll let Dan look up this murder section, and we can all, folks, you can all be entertained by the cat and the cat.
Yeah. We don't even have to vamp. There's a cat.
Oh, kitty cat.
Oh, there's another cat.
I am obviously missing something obvious.
Was it covered with the coffee?
No, I got new printouts on page 3.
The pile of debris is obviously a ragamuffin, and we're all in very big trouble.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
it's a mimic.
It's a mimic. The whole room is a mimic, actually.
Oh no,
That's
ragamuffin is way more. They can possess you.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I don't know if that's a creature in 5th edition, but
Dan just said that they're going to DM you.
yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
No, I was doing the same thing with Paradise RPG. Ran one of my adventures last month, and I was DMing the DM. I was like, hey, wait, here's the thing that you're looking for.
Playtesting is a lot of fun, though.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So.
That's when the Tarask comes out.
Right.
Yes. Okay. So yeah, there's a pile of debris, ashy debris.
Ashy debris.
I don't like that.
I don't like that
It's
either.
a decent sized pile of debris.
let's say that the colonel, as he was getting the area prepared, because he is as a cleric, he is respectful of the dead, so he's trying to like get the area situated and ready. So he set up a little like it's like a sensor. Is that what it's called that you use to like let out incense? So he's letting
The
that kind of-
incense, yeah,
he's hung that up. We're gonna say
Sensor.
on like the bed
Glad we
frame.
both acted it out.
Yeah. And as he goes around on the other side of the bed, he's like straightening the sheets. His like military stuff is kicking in, and he'll notice the pile of ash and kind of look down at it and try to see what's going on there.
Okay. So do you want to investigate the ash?
Yes, please. Ooh, that's good. 22.
Ooh.
My diehard dice are treating me very well.
That's good. As you kind of sift through, you realize there's pieces of bone in that pile of ash.
Oh no. Is there a skull?
It was obviously a very hot, probably magical flame used.
So everything's like in cinders.
Yeah, and there's just maybe fragments of bone at best.
Okay. Nothing a speak with dead is going to be able to work with. All right. Well, Althea and Corinne, it seems that we may be dealing with not one but two deceased here. And he'll indicate the pile.
Well, we already had 2, and now we've got 3.
Does it seem like just the remains, like the amount of remains for one person, or is it perhaps an
It's
adult
a
and a
pretty
child amount
big
of
pile
yeah.
of
Okay.
ash.
I would like to change what I'm investigating the room for.
I know, right?
I would like to look for indications that Esmeralda was able to cast magic or had some sort of magical implement.
Ooh.
Okay, go ahead. Let's roll an investigation.
What class was she?
Oh, for crying out loud! I'm re-rolling. That was dumb. Oh my! That is statistically improbable.
No.
I don't see anything at all.
Me neither. It's fine.
It's fine.
I'm
2
looking-
1s. Oh my god.
Yeah, I got a 1 on mine.
2
as well.
1s?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
rolled and it was a 1, and I was like, "Oh, use
Nothing
my
like a
reroll,
nat one on
another
advantage,
1.
right?
Ah.
You actually fall into the pile of...
Oh no!
Did anyone want to look in the desk?
Yes. Can I do a different roll from my previous
You
one?
don't even need to roll. Just open the
Okay.
door and you see a book inside.
I will look
journal.
at the book. Ooh, well, she's dead, so she's not gonna care.
All right. You
Is
see a
that the only time
bookmarked
you read
page.
journals, Corinne?
And
I
on,
never read a journal of a living person.
on that bookmarked page, it says, "I'd sell my soul 1,000 times. What a small price to pay to see them alive again. Humbuddy in room 9."
Well, that's
This is
That's a
tragic.
very good clue if we hadn't already been there. We're just too good.
Well, while they're looking at that, I think the colonel will have finished his incantation to cast Speak with Dead upon Esmeralda, and so it lasts for 10 minutes. Grant the semblance of life, allowing it to answer questions I pose. It must have a mouth and can't be undead.
Okay. So
You can ask it says
basically
5 questions.
you're making the corpse talk.
Yes, it
Okay.
so it knows only what it knew in life. The answers may be brief, cryptic, or repetitive. It's not compelled to offer a truthful answer if I'm hostile or it thinks I'm an enemy.
is this something we've seen you do before?
I would say, Corinne, in the time I couldn't do it back then, but maybe
Right.
perhaps in the adventures going up, it's something he's used in some of their investigations.
Okay, so this isn't like the first time I'm ever seeing a
No.
corpse talk. Okay.
I mean, if you are a murder investigator and he has the ability to talk to dead, he's gonna be using that.
I mean,
He's
I've
got
seen Pushing
Daisy
Daisies.
shit going on. There.
I love that show so much.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
What's going on?
Esmeralda, I
Can't breathe.
will keep this brief so as not to to contain you. We are trying to find who did this to you, and I have a series of short questions, starting namely with who killed you?
Wizard.
Okay, I don't need.
Pablo?
I don't need to ask the name and lose one of my 5 questions.
Oh,
I think we know
right.
which wizard she's talking about. And do you know, Alfie? If you have a question, I'm happy to. Okay.
No, I was holding up the count.
Okay.
Oh.
Do you know what happened when the wizard tried to resurrect your family? Yeah. Also, if Corinne or Althea actually does have, if there's any questions, I don't want to
Yeah.
if you have
No.
one, you can
I'm just
siphon them
I'm just
through
watching the
Colonel.
master at work, completely enraptured in your skill.
Yeah.
It was horrible. They wailed. They wanted to know why they weren't in peace, why they weren't in the grave.
And Esmeralda, what led to the conflagration of the bodies here? Because I guess she wouldn't know this if it happened after she died. So I'm trying to figure out if that happened first.
What do you mean?
Okay, that confirms that. Do you... Were Ralph and Buster involved in getting the bodies of your loved ones?
No.
Okay. Colonel's going to look to Corinne and Alfie. We've got one last question. Is there anything that you all think? I figured we got a twofer there with Ralph and Buster. Oh, you know what?
You didn't ask about Laszlo.
Yeah. I'll turn back and say, Esmeralda, one last question. Was Laszlo involved in any way in the plot to bring back Ignacia and your daughter, your child? Okay.
I imagine at this point the spirit leaves her, and she has a death rattle for a last time.
The Colonel will close her eyelids and pull the sheet up over the body.
I'm just like handkerchief.
Jess, you're gonna need a section for what does Esmeralda know?
No, you handled that well. That was, I feel like.
I mean, a lot of that's scattered out, but if it
Yeah.
was centralized, it could have been helpful
Yeah.
because at this level, apparently that's a thing.
Just to clarify, the colonel had just determined that the body has been there for a few days.
Yeah.
Okay, so timeline is like
About the same time, or like a
Right.
little after maybe the
Yeah.
desecration of the crypt.
Had anyone? I don't think anyone. I don't think it came up. Anybody saying that they have or haven't seen Esmeralda in a while. Like I don't think it.
No,
that never
nobody
came
has said
up.
that.
Yeah, I wonder if they assumed she was grieving.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think now we've got a wizard to catch.
Yep.
So
I would say with everything going on, let's say it's getting later in the day, probably
Mhm.
closer to when that
Yeah.
seance is supposed to happen.
but do we want to try to catch him before that happens?
For that gal's sake, probably.
Yeah, we could probably catch him at the scene, like as he's getting there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you saw how much it took 10 minutes at least for Relish to set up for his thing.
As Relish, as the Colonel leaves, he is just going to stop one more time, or if we have time, because we know that it's at least an hour away till the seance, right?
I think.
Right.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
He will take 10 minutes to cast Gentle Repose on Esmeralda's corpse,
Oh,
which
that's so
will extend the time limit on raising the target from the dead, and also just prevent her from decaying. And she cannot become undead.
Oh, I love that.
That was a good choice.
Good
Yeah.
thinking. Okay, you do the thing.
Okay. All right.
So-
Well, to the seance. We can set up we could set up an ambush of some sorts.
Well, I guess like we've been doing all of this question asking everywhere, and this person could know. I mean, there's obviously a lot of sort of hubbub going on in the town about all of this, so I don't know if sort of making our way directly there is going to be easy to do unseen, right? Like, I'm not sure how easy it will be to surprise this person.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's true. I guess I'm thinking if there's a place so we can hide at the scene of the seance.
Right, but
Behind a very tall tombstone.
There are some very tall tombstones and statues and a house.
We didn't investigate the statue of the Asimar earlier.
Mm-mm.
You want
No.
to take a spin by there?
I mean, I have disguise self. But I can, that's not. Ooh. Go ahead, one.
Yeah, I mean, if it's on the way, the statue of the Asimar, we could swing by there.
It's in the
Yeah.
graveyard. So
Yeah, and that way we get there with enough time to maybe set up. One question, should we let the watch captain know to be ready, like maybe cordon off the graveyard so that they can't escape? Because we can't have a whole contingent of city watch like waiting in the graveyard, obviously, or they'll just like dip. But maybe just be ready to try to prevent them from escaping. I don't know. In the interest of time, Dan, I realize we're coming up.
And I will point out that she's very dedicated to her work, so there will be a swarm of guards if you tell her.
Okay. Yeah. I guess if the colonel would have picked up on that, he's not gonna risk them preventing them from capturing this guy. So we'll just make our way to the graveyard.
Perfect.
All right. All right. So you head on back into town towards the graveyard. I guess that's sort of also a little bit outside of town, right? It's on the hill.
Mm-hmm.
And as you approach, you actually see a wizard bustling around the Asimar statue.
Mm-hmm.
He's humming show tunes. Well, he does so. And he's salting the earth and lighting floating votive candles, preparing for a seance like you do.
Well, I have to say now I should ask you, Althea, as we're making our way, we could have maybe said this along the way.
Okay.
Are we attempting to reason with this man or simply render him unconscious and take him away?
I mean, I feel like it's pretty clear at this point that he's not reasonable and also very unethical. So I guess my feeling would be that we probably just want to apprehend him and deliver him to justice, right?
I think so. He's definitely murdered someone.
Yeah. In that case, well, you all know that I have a certain proclivity for commanding others to stop what it is they're doing. And when the time strikes, I will tell him as such and command him. And if you all want to use the opportunity to then strike, of course, non-lethally, that may be our best bet.
Of course. That's standard procedure for this sort of thing, I think.
Then in that case, as we approach, when we're within, I guess, shouting distance, the colonel will shout out in his biggest, deepest judge voice that I won't do because my toddler is sleeping downstairs, to halt in the name of the law, and he wants to cast command.
Nice.
While he's doing that, I'd like to use my insight check to do insightful fighting, just in case this guy decides to start shit.
So what does command do? What do I need to do?
He needs to make a wisdom save. Wait, sorry, I should know this. I was just looking at this. A wisdom saving throw of 15, but I have a special feature. If I cast a spell. Okay, no. Never mind. Yeah, just got to he's got to make a wisdom save.
Okay. Well, this is the first roll I'm doing, and so I'm going to use that disadvantage I got earlier. And this is definitely near the end, Jess. Well, that's a 6.
All right, so he would just have to essentially, again, I mean, as far as like combat and rounds go, for his next turn, he would have to spend the entire turn not moving, essentially.
Doing what you told him to do, and
Yeah.
in this case, the thing you told him to do is nothing.
Yeah, it was just to halt.
Gotcha.
So in that next 6 seconds, he would look to Corinne and Althea, I guess, to do what they want to do. And I guess I should say he could still technically speak. He's not like magically frozen, but he just couldn't move.
Okay.
Okay, I see. Like, "Ooh, what's up?" And he is a human because he's from out of town, and he's dressed. It's like the Sorcerer's Apprentice. He's got the blue hat and robe and all that.
So
Yeah.
the colonel is, as he says halt, he's like already walking towards him, and you see he's taken like the manacles out from his like pouch, and he's like got those clipped on his belt, ready to take this guy away.
Okay. So do you make it in time? I guess.
I probably wouldn't. I'm thinking like
Yeah.
that's more so just for flavor, so I'm heading towards him. Like that's the colonel's plan.
Okay. Now, hold on a minute. What is happening?
I think you know exactly what's happening, Pablo.
I do not. Who are you people?
We are the beholders, and we behold you murdering poor widows.
Murder? I didn't murder anybody.
Oh, it's a likely story. Strangle anybody lately?
I certainly did not.
That's all I got.
Did he certainly not?
I said no. I'm not.
Insight.
Do you want to do an insight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a thing I'm supposed to be good at. Good lord. Good grief. Why does this keep happening? Where is that thingy? Wow, same thing that happened before. It's a 4, but actually it's an 8, so it's a 15.
Nice.
Okay. With that, you realize that answer is layered. Sort of a yes, sort of a no.
Sure.
About strangling someone.
Yes.
Well,
Let's someone roll Arcana or Nature.
Let's see. What's my Arcana?
Roving Naturalist doesn't have any nature.
No,
I
I didn't know
mine
this
is
was my
a-
character
What's
today.
3
The
to
Colonel-
both? What the heck?
the colonel got a 16.
I got a 15.
And normally I wouldn't have rolled, but I think since he specifically investigated Esmeralda's body, I think that because he's not an arcane person, but
You guys kind of recall that when someone does say raise dead, they're under the direct control, basically like command for 24 hours.
Aha.
Yeah. That's what yeah.
well, by that logic, Pablo, if I were to knock you unconscious with my hammer, I would not have done so, but my hammer would have.
So yeah, he looks at you and goes, "All right. Well, here's what happened. here's the thing. Yes, Esmeralda hired me to bring her family back from the dead, and I told her I am capable of doing that. But I had them in my room at the hotel, waiting for payment to deliver them, and found that when I got back to my room, someone had gone in there and already taken them. So I went to go tell Esmeralda what happened, and it seems that she had taken them with her, and they took her out."
Well, it would appear in either case you, sir, are a charlatan and as slimy as an aboleth.
I told her I could bring them back from the dead.
Yes, well,
They They just took her out on their own.
Absolutely.
So you left the resurrected body people who were questionable in the noodle alone and unsupervised in your room, and so they left on their own and went and murdered their wife/mother.
Well, a man needs to go and eat, and
You left them unsupervised?
I locked the door.
I think I've had enough of this man's slippery
You
tongue.
locked the door.
Uh,
Well then, you're completely innocent, and I absolve you. That's bullshit.
Corinne.
I would
I'm
like.
sorry to be blue, but I was raised by sailors, and I've thrown out my voice.
The colonel's gonna hold out his hammer, and embedded, or his gavel, embedded in it is in the handle itself is a small straight piece of iron, which is the component for the hold person spell.
Okay.
And I would like to cast hold person, which is a much longer version
Yes.
of halting.
Okay.
He does need to make a wisdom saving throw of 15.
Okay. I'm gonna roll this one with my one advantage.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
no.
Or no, I have a reroll. Never mind.
Okay.
So, we'll see what happens. Well, don't need to reroll. That's a 21.
Okay.
So he could tell you just tried to spell at him.
Yep.
So let's roll some initiative, shall we?
All right. Does the fact that I said I was doing insightful fighting before count, or do I have to do it in combat now?
I'll let you have done it.
Okay. So he has to make a deception check.
Oh, okay. He does? What
Against a
is
21.
What is deception based on? It's based on charisma, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to use my reroll. But he's got a +0, so I guess technically he couldn't have won. Damn it! I wasted my reroll. So that's a 12.
Cool. All right.
That's a 13 for my initiative, by the way.
Okay.
17.
So he failed that. So
16.
what does that do for him?
It's just for me. So basically, I can use my sneak attack against him, even if I don't
Gotcha.
have advantage.
And you got 16, you said?
for initiative. Yeah.
Okay.
I got 17, yeah.
And then let's roll his, shall we? Oh.
Oh no.
So Pablo got a 21.
Oh no.
Corinne got a 17. Althea got a 16. And Relish got a 13. You already blew your shot trying to hold him anyway, so
Yeah.
that's why.
Yep. I figured it was a quick win if it worked, but
Right. Okay, so I guess shit, I'm gonna have to bring magic up. I always forget to get all the spells together. So I guess the first thing he's going to do might just be that. Yeah, I think he's gonna go ahead and cast Mage Armor.
Uh-oh.
Have to remember what that entails. I think that just ups him. Maybe how was that compared to here? Oh, yeah, he definitely. Oh, she even wrote it up. Good job, Jess. I should have looked first. You already put the mage armor on there for me. All right, so he casts mage armor on himself.
Mm-hmm.
You can see, like, he does his thing, and a little kind of glow goes around him, and it's Corinne.
Okay, I'm going to cast Cause Fear. Let's see. You awaken the sense of mortality in one creature, and you can see within range. The target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or become frightened for the duration. A target with 25 hit points or fewer makes the saving throw with disadvantage.
Well, it is not a disadvantage. Sorry to tell you.
And if he's undead or construct, it has no effect.
Yeah, well, that's an 8.
No, my saving throw DC is 14, so
So I don't think that hits it.
No.
So what does that do? Makes him run? Or...
frightened. It makes him frightened,
Frightened.
for 1 minute.
Gotcha. And that means that he has disadvantage on checks, attack rolls. If its source of fear is within line of sight, you're in a pretty open graveyard, so cannot move closer to Corinne.
I become very scary. I'm a very scary little angry dwarf.
All right, so
I'm picturing Galadriel in
Yes!
Lord of the Rings.
yeah,
with, like
all of a sudden, just like
Yes.
and he's like, "Oh, Christ! He doesn't even exist in this world." And I'm yelling it.
multiverse.
Mm-hmm.
Right? the Jesus Christ multiverse.
Mhm.
All right. Anything else, Corinne?
No.
Okay, that makes it Althea.
Are we hitting him?
I think so.
Okay. Then I will run up and hit him, I guess.
All right.
With my rapier. That's only a 12, though. I bet it doesn't hit.
Yeah. If it wasn't for the mage armor. Yeah.
Okay.
So you go to stab him. You would have got it, but you can tell like that mage armor, like it kind of flexes in. He goes just a little bit because he's got that pressure, but didn't really do anything to hurt him.
Yeah. I think that's all for now. I'll just stay here, I guess.
Okay. Relish.
Seeing the spell fail, he's got his gavel. He's gonna reach down and pull the book of the code, the law. It's both his Bible and his legal code. And he holds it up and says, Corinne, Althea, let the law guide your actions. And he's gonna cast Bless on the party. And he has this cool new feature called Voice of Authority. If I cast a spell with a spell slot, first level or higher, and target an ally, they can use their reaction immediately after the spell to make one weapon attack against a creature that I can see. So I'm going to allow Althea having, being there to, and again, it's up to you, Althea. I can't force it, but you can use your reaction if you'd like to make an attack. And also everyone will have plus D4 to their attacks now.
Why not? I'll try hitting him again. Why not?
Try him again. Why not?
Oh my goodness. It's the same roll. Never mind.
Oh, and I'm guessing the D4 won't help.
Well.
So is that to the attack?
It might. If she gets a 3.
Yeah, it was a 12. Let's see.
Does the D4 add to the attack or to the damage? Or
attack, not damage.
Oh,
Just
I don't
attack
need to
rolls.
add it to the attack. I'll get sneak attack.
Okay, that's fair.
It's only a 2.
No.
I'm sorry.
No rerolls.
Once again,
I'm
like this
left.
time, you're like shoulder, it just indents, but nothing.
I'm so ashamed.
Well, you should be. All right, so the wizard is going to cast Chill Touch, which is a range of 120 feet. So anytime within there. So he's going to go after the Colonel because he's obviously, this is a very slight wizard man, and so he does a spell on you. So that's an attack. It looks like. So what is his deal? Okay, that's pretty good. Plus, so that's a nat one.
The Colonel sees that chill touch hand and he just slaps it out of the air in front of him.
Yep, it just disappears. All right. The wizard is going to disengage, I guess. He can't really move, but he'll actually, he'll take a risk. He's gonna scoot back. He's gonna try to run off. Which
See, it's a backseat, so he's scooting his butt across the.
Yep. So both of you do get opportunity attacks. Well,
cool.
This is the top of the round, so it's a new round, so you get your reactions back.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a lot better. That's a 23.
All right.
Okay. 1, 2, 3d6.
1, 2, 3.
And you said Dan, the Colonel also gets.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh no, wow. Thanks, D8. 12 points of rapier damage.
Noise.
And because you got him while he's trying to run off, he doesn't actually run off. Go ahead, Relish.
Wait, really? I thought that was only a sentinel thing.
No,
Relish.
my understanding is if you actually hit on when they are trying to move, you stop them in their tracks.
That's what I.
Relish got an 18. So yeah,
I know it was like that
think
in 4E. I'm not going to take time to see if it changed in 5E.
it's
Yeah,
cool.
that's a feat in 5th edition.
Well,
So
either way,
normally
but
whatever.
That's how I've been playing it, so I'm going to keep doing it.
Yeah, it's fine by me because it helps us out. We got Colonel got a 19.
Oh yeah.
That's with his mace or his gavel.
Mhm.
So that is max damage. That's 9.
Ooh.
He's a strong boy, a strong cleric.
Nice. All right. Oh yeah, you can tell you rang that bell pretty good. All right. And now Corinne.
All right. Oh, I don't actually attack with this one. I'm gonna do acid splash. I am going to throw a bubble of acid at him, and he has to make a dex saving
By the way,
throw.
he yelled, "Oh, you got me at a dead stop." Okay. Anyway, sorry. Battle of Acid Splash.
Yeah.
Okay.
He has to make a dex saving throw
Okay.
and beat 14.
So that is a 19.
Beans. Oh, beans.
Oh, beans.
Okay. Yeah.
By the way,
I think
guys,
that's
if you
it.
want to donate to help or hinder any of us, do it to it.
Okay.
Was there more you were doing?
No.
Okay. That makes it Althea again.
I mean, what?
I'm going to donate $20 to give the 3 of us advantage and to give Dan disadvantage.
Okay. Sounds like a plan to me.
It's happening now, so I just wanted to let you know for your turn it will be there.
I guess I'll keep hitting him.
All right.
I somehow I became the de facto
And
martial
you get to
character.
use the advantage when you want to, and I'll let you make that choice after the roll.
Oh, thanks. Okay.
I do spoil them.
Nope, that's not good
Also,
enough.
it's already 11, so.
Yeah. 13 wasn't good enough, right?
No.
Okay.
Did you bless?
Oh, yeah, don't forget your...
Oh, do I still...
Yeah.
I still get that. I didn't... Yeah. Ooh. That's a 3, so that'd be a 16.
Oh, yeah, you got him.
Noise.
Okay. Alrighty. Let's try a D8 that'll roll better, maybe, huh? 1, 2, oops, 3. Because I'm an entomologist, my friend got me B6s with bees on them.
That's
So
awesome.
attack. Oh, that's way better. That's 6, 7, 10, 12, 16.
Dang.
And I'll just hang out.
Okay. Yeah,
Thank you for the bless.
he's kind of a little bit more whooped already. He's like, oh, bloody hell.
Exactly.
All right. And now it's Relish.
All right. Relish will, seeing him, he's not doing too great. I think this worked for him in the first game, so he's going to do this again. I have had quite enough of your tomfoolery, Pablo. I think your time has come to an end, and I'm going to hold up that the book, and he's going to open it and just start reading really boring section 5.2a of the archaic code of the divines. And as he is, the words are like rising off the page and coalescing into this like golden light. And then he's going to snap the book shut, and it's going to send a level 3 guiding bolt at him as he finishes the clause. That is a 19 to hit.
Oh yes.
Dang, dude.
Okay, so I need how many? I need to see how many dice I need for a level 3 guiding bolt. Sorry, I'm still making my way through the.
Making my way downtown.
Yeah. Wait, where is it? I have it here. Okay.
That was
Guiding
such a
bolt
perfect
is,
impression. I'm probably gonna get.
you're gonna
copyright
get
strike.
Yep.
yeah, definitely.
Yep. Definitely.
So
It wasn't a long enough clip.
Oh, fair enough.
60,
It has to be like 12 seconds or 8 or something.
What?
Yeah.
66.
Oh, I thought you said you rolled 60.
No. Sorry, 66. Okay, so that's 12, 18, 20 damage, 20 radiant damage.
Nice.
Hoofda, hoofda.
And that will be, oh, yeah, that's his turn. Yes.
Okay. Dang. At that point, it is now his turn again. And he goes, I guess 2 can play at that game, and he casts Shatter, which is a sudden loud noise, ringing noise that's painfully intense, erupt from a point of his choice within 60
Especially
feet.
with
So
your
it's
big
going
ol'
to
ears.
get you guys.
Okay.
And you need to do a Constitution saving
That's kind of
throw.
what I expected. Oh, I got a +3 to that.
Ooh, I got a dirty 20.
9. That's a 9.
Okay.
Oh wait, I want to use my. Can I use my advantage?
For tech rolls and saves, yes. Or you can use your advantage. Don't forget the plus.
Oh, yeah,
Still the
bless.
+4 too.
Yep.
Okay, so that was that one. That was that one, and then
16 for me.
so 13 is the best I got.
And what did you get, Relish?
23 after
Oh.
my bless. Yeah.
Okay. So Althea and Relish succeed. So you just take half damage.
Oh, okay.
Am I allowed to uncanny dodge that too?
Is it attack?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Then I will half the half.
Okay. It's still hitting you. Didn't have my D8s ready. Couple. Okay. Ooh. Too shabby.
I don't like the sound of that.
Yeah.
16.
Oof. Wait.
So Corinne gets 16. You
Okay.
get 8. Althea gets 4.
Nice.
Okay.
And he's gonna try to run away again.
Hmm.
So, Althea and Relish, you get another chance.
I just used my reaction.
Oh, right. But Relish still could.
Yes. Relish will. Oh wait, plus my bless. Oh, got the +4. So that brings that up
Nice.
to, I think that is going to be enough. Yeah, that's a 17.
Oh, yep.
All right. And another 6 on the gavel. So 9 damage total.
Nice.
Nice.
He's just like, boom.
Yeah, he's just boom, boom, boom. Okay. And so now it is Corinne.
Okay, I am going to cast. I have to scroll all the way down again. Burning Hands. I'm gonna cast it at level 3. I hold my thumbs and fingers spread, and thin sheets of flame shoot from. Oh, I guess I do it like this. I'm reading it. And he must make a dexterity saving throw.
So, you are behind Althea and Relish.
I moved.
You did. Okay.
I do. I
Okay.
moved.
All right. Perfect.
I like step aside so because it does it shoots in a cone.
Yep.
So I want to like not hit them. That would
Yeah,
be nice.
that'd be
I
nice.
would die
Okay.
before I hit
in
my
the
precious.
back by your flame.
And that's a
There goes another
save.
DMCA.
Yep. God dang it.
DC, I think.
I changed the words though, right?
Yeah, it's true.
There you
That's
go.
true. You
Don't
got
worry,
parody coverage like Weird Al.
I played literally 2 full ABBA songs during my last stream, so I am 100% going to get it taken down, but I don't care. It was worth it.
Yep, dexterity. Okay.
And I think Relish
you used your-
recognizes this because he's seen Corinne use her burning hands. So he like pulls up his cloak like this to like
Nice.
cover him and Althea as it's. I know it's not going to hit us, but just for
Yeah,
flavor.
just flavor.
Have
that's
you
a
used?
13.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That I hit. Okay.
Nice.
And so that is use it, blah 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 blah. One. So I do 3d. Oh, I do 66 fire damage. Hachi machi.
Oh, right. Because
Hachi Machi indeed.
Bringing it all their own, huh?
Yeah.
9.
Well, this is how
plus-
she gets all the cobwebs out of the attic.
It's true. It's true. 9 plus 12 is 21.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
You don't have an
Ugh.
attic to have cobwebs
Yeah,
in.
his, like, his like
Oh.
hat is like half burned off now, and the rest is like really cinched.
And the fire also ignites any unattended objects that are being worn or carried, flammable objects. So we might have a problem, but it's
Yeah.
fine.
So
It's
like
fine.
some of the stuff he set up for the seance is now like on fire.
I'm
The grass probably.
I'm not good with witty one-liners, so just
Oh, hot stuff.
Mhm.
And that makes it Althea's turn.
Let me see if I can put that out for you, or just put you out. Whatever. And I will try to hit him again.
Of course, you can try.
Oh, God.
That's probably not gonna hit. Maybe. Yeah. So that's
yeah,
an
don't
eight.
forget your bless.
Yeah, that's what I just rolled. So that's an
Nice.
18.
Yeah, that
'cause I got
sounded like a
4.
D4.
Yeah.
That'll do her.
Yay! Again. 1, 2, 3. Oh, come back. Oh, lost forever. Okay. Wow. 6,
Wow.
12.
Wow, wee, wee, wow.
19, 24, plus 4 is 28.
How lethal is this attack?
I think, well, I don't know, is there like a disadvantage for trying to do non-lethal? Because I think like at this point I probably would have done non-lethal because I could tell he was pretty rough.
No, especially not with the level of attack he did.
Cool.
Okay. Yeah, you take that last thing and you just, instead of stabbing him, you just take the
Yeah.
the pauldron of the rapier and you just ring his head so
Gong.
hard. Like he doesn't even have time to get off a quip before just crumpling to the ground.
Oops.
Let's see. Do I have anything to tie him up with?
Colonel, I think you can put the handcuffs on him now.
Yeah, I think he'll walk up and clasp those manacles
All right.
on the back, and also probably
you
just make
realize
a
after he went unconscious, his shape changed, and you can see that
Oh.
he is a changeling.
son
I'm
of a
so
bitch.
tired of this town. What is it about this town?
He will also the colonel will also just kind of make just a basic medicine just to stabilize him to make sure that he's like we keep him alive.
Yeah, because he had 20 left, so that was a pretty hard hit on his noggin.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah. So if I can just make like that's a natural 20. Of course, I get a nat 20 on
Yeah.
a check to stabilize him.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, he does a little smell.
You stabilize him so well. He opens his eyes after he's manacled. He goes, "Oh, son of a bitch!"
Pablo, meet the law, and I'm just like holding that book up in front of him, and with Althea and Corinne standing behind me.
Holding my
you-
broom.
Did you say you were the beholders?
We
You're
are.
still in pain.
Did.
And none escape our gaze, as you have learned.
So you're the ones who killed my daughter. Got it.
Oh.
Oh,
shit.
Oh shit.
Oh man.
Well,
Oh,
you'll have
no.
plenty of time to think about that when we lock you up for what you did to this poor town.
Mm-hmm.
You mean helping them?
I think that we probably have different definitions of help.
Don't know that creating murder zombies is that helpful, sir. Oh, my face, you fly.
Yeah.
Flies on my
What
face.
about helping the sick for free? I've done that too.
For free?
Well, we'll leave that up to the judge to decide.
Mine.
We'll haul him up.
Okay. And bring
Take
him
him,
to
yeah, take him to the city
uh,
watch
yeah.
to Thalia.
Hell yeah. Okay, so you walk on over to the city watch,
We brought you a
Um,
present.
and Amos happens to be there because they're talking about all sorts of different things, and they both look up and go, "You did it again!"
We found another changeling, sir.
Amos walks over and goes, "So you have. Seems we're infested with them."
Now, that's not a very nice word to use. They're not vermin. They're people too. They're just this one and the other one, which is very sneaky.
And Thalia goes, "Well, agree to disagree. Looks like vermin to me." And she goes over and takes him from you, and let's get you into the prison until the judge can get here and we can have a trial. Thank you guys. And she leads him off.
Just beware, he's a caster. Oh, also, we should go back to the graveyard and check on Ygritte so that she's not hanging out there
Yeah.
thinking
Oh, that's
that
a good
something's
point.
going to happen for her.
Amos turns to one of the guards that happen to be around and just says, "Tell him what you need. I'll have him take care of it for you."
There's a grieving widow who's going to be showing up at the graveyard, hoping
Oh,
that man
Ygritte.
would, yes, that he would do a seance for her. If you could just,
Oh, and I have to tell you, it's very sad, but Esmeralda, she's passed too. But
What?
we've served together in the afterlife.
That bastard killed her?
Sort of. But yes.
indirectly.
Indirectly, but yes.
Okay, I assume you guys. We'll do 1, 2 skip if you. I assume you guys tell
Yeah,
him the
but-
story
yeah.
of what happened. What you saw. Well, I guess that checks out, and I feel a little bit kind of like an ass for thinking poorly of Buster and Ralph. I'm gonna have to check my biases, check my privilege. You guys did an amazing job. I'm definitely going to be calling you guys again next year.
Oh, you're expecting
Oh,
there
it's
to
a-
be
it's a date?
shenanigans
I don't-
again next year?
Yeah.
Another changeling shows up in 12 months, just like, look, what?
And he pays you the gold that was promised as part of your contract, and you guys head off on your way to get another job.
The next adventure.
Next adventure.
Yeah. We
Yay.
off scene, we do finally get to go see what this Battle of the Barbarians is about.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure. Isn't that
And,
what we did last year?
she
Didn't we
does
do
have
that?
another fun beat each other up scene. So
I was gonna say, I think last year that's like the first place we went, so we did
Yep.
it.
Yeah.
And I got like knocked out in the first round
Yeah.
and just like laying there the whole time, like, I don't know,
Yeah.
I'm dead.
we taught her a lesson. She updated it to say if it takes longer than 10 minutes IRL, the
Yeah.
audience gets bored. We taught her a lesson.
Mhm.
That's awesome.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you, everyone.
Hey.
Thanks for the donators, including Nick
Yeah.
here. That was awesome. We are now at almost 1,500.
Woohoo!
1425. We made 1550 in total last year, so
Nice.
hoping we can break that this year. So cool. Stick around. Our next game will be in about a little over half an hour, and it is, where'd I put that guide? My schedule. I believe this one is Breakfast Cult. Yes, Breakfast Cult,
Ooh.
hosted by Kimberly and my offline DM, Chris Lee. So
Nice.
join us for that. It'll
Heck
be
yeah.
a lot of
It's gonna
fun.
be exciting. He's
Yeah.
cool.
He
dude.
actually helped do the layout of that book, so that's kind of super cool.
That's awesome.
All right.
Well, thank you. Yeah, thank you everyone for sticking around. As I know we went a little over time, but I had a blast as always.
was
so
with this
much
party.
fun.
Let's quickly reintroduce ourselves and say where we can find us and what we're doing. Let's start right above me in my screen with Cheryl.
Oh, that's me. Hi, I'm Cheryl. You can find me online places, just me, myself, as The Roving Naturalist, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. I also run the Nature Check project here on Twitch, and you can also follow us on Twitter and join us on our Discord. We do stuff where we investigate the science embedded in your favorite video games and TRPGs like Dungeons and Dragons.
Yay, that's fun. Nick.
Hi everyone. My name is Nick. You can find me on Twitter and Twitch at Scry Society, where I run monthly charity one shots. And this month we just announced the cast. We're going to be raising money for Able Gamers charity. And we're playing an adventure from a creator over at Shard Tabletop. Where I'm also the community manager. So you'll see me on either of those accounts, and that will be on July 31st, a Saturday.
And he is raffling off his adventure that's on there.
Yes.
So your donations get you raffle entries. So
yeah.
donate to that.
Thank you. And one more thing, if you'll let me plug once more shamelessly, I will be DMing a game for Paradise RPG next Friday as part of their Jasper's Game Day weekend. Which is going to be just like Meowrathon, like a weekend-long charity event. So definitely
cool.
check them out next week.
Check it out. And I'm gonna have to take you up on one of those charity things.
Hey, I've got
those.
Yeah, and yeah, I've got to sign up on the pinned tweet on my profile page, so you can always go there and just let me know if you're interested.
Awesome. And Kimberly.
Hello, I'm Kimberly. I play lots of D&D. I guess Dan's on that side. I don't know. I'm looking and it's backwards. Play a lot of D&D with Dan and Ari, and then we do OD&D together. We play games on Twitch together. My Twitch is squeaktastic. I don't do very often. It's usually just when we have spoons to play. We play Phasmophobia. We play Minecraft. We play No Man's Sky, random whatever game of the week it is. And we also do the OD&D podcasts, plural. There's several one-shots that have gone on for a while, but yeah.
Awesome.
So that's me.
And I'm Dan. I am the host of this thing and of our main D&D podcast, odndpodcast.com. You can check that there. And I am Bartholomew in our Fistful of Dice game and whatever else is needed, as we like to experiment with systems and do one-shots with them. So we did a Feast of Legends one-shot one time, so that was kind of interesting.
That was so much fun. It was so
fun.
And
it's twist. There's a twist, so if you're interested, you should check it out. All right.
Yes.
Thanks a lot, guys. That was so much fun.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jess, for writing this in a month.
Thank you, Jess.
That was super cool.
Yes.
Check out them on DM's Guild. The first one is award-winning. Sold like a ton of stuff, and they're giving away copies of both the first one and this one when it releases at the end of this month. 2 copies of each.
Nice.
Yeah. Thanks, Jess.
Have a good night, everyone.
See ya.